Y'all believe in us, and I know we sure as hell believe in you. I believe that with all my heart. I'd be so disappointed if it wasn't true. So I believe that you're going to do whatever we ask you because you believe in us, that when we go in that stadium, look, all we want to see you guys do is win. That's all we want. We want success for you.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
Good to be back here on the Morning Rush as we're 26 days out from Arkansas football. Had a couple practices over the weekend, heard from Sam Pittman, KJ Jefferson, a couple other players, couple other coaches. We will get into that conversation this morning here on Hot Take Monday. Unfortunately, we got the news over the weekend of Bobby Bowden passing away at the age of 91. His impact on college football, not just college football, but all over the place, is going to be seen for quite some time. Several players, several coaches came out and shared how he had an impact on their lives. I want to talk about just kind of what he's done for college football, and again, outside of that realm this morning, and then also get into a couple things that happened while I was away. I know there was some news. Greg Sankey got an extension. We obviously had football that began on Friday in practice, and a whole other slew of things this morning here on a Hot Take Monday, Tommy.
Hey, good to see you again. How you doing?
Good to be back, man. It's good to be back in the saddle. Good to be back in this. I got a little – it was a little weird not waking up. It was nice to be able to sleep in. I will say I haven't slept until 11.
11? You get bed sores doing that.
In legitimately 4 years, and that's the latest I have slept in quite some time. And so finally got a chance to do that. Most of the time I was up by 8 or 9, which is still sleeping in, considering we wake up at about 4:15 every single morning. But it's good to be back. I felt myself getting antsy as there were several things that popped up last week that I didn't really necessarily get a chance to talk about. I will say I did a pretty good job. One of my best of the weekend is I did a good job of staying off social media because I'm on it 24/7 during work with Twitter and just trying to get updates, trying to update our social media accounts and HitThatLine.com and a bunch of different things. But I was good, and I stayed off it pretty much for the last week.
It's hard to do.
It is hard to do. So, but it was nice to not have to worry about that side of things the past week.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. You can find the best brands at the best prices: Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, and more, and a lifetime warranty on every new unit. Wheels RV, again, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. What was your favorite thing that you did while you were away? I know you went to Dallas, you went to Newton County, you did
You've been to Lower Gap, Arkansas?
Yep.
That's where we ended up staying. I thought it was in Jasper. It was Lower Gap, Arkansas.
Yep. Go to the Low Gap Cafe. I've not been there, but I've heard nothing but outstanding things about the Low Gap Cafe. I hope it's still there. I heard the prime rib there is unbelievable.
We ended up making hot dogs, omelets, frozen lasagna, and a bunch of other just easy cooked
This
stuff.
was a bachelor party you went to?
Yes.
Okay.
And it was a lot of fun. Low Gap, yep. It looks
Low
like
Gap.
it's still
Yeah, the
still
Low
there.
Gap
Is it
Cafe is
Lower Gap or Low Gap?
Low
Arkansas?
Gap.
Okay, Low Gap, Arkansas is where I was. It was a really cool cabin. Didn't have any service out there, so it was hard to find initially because the directions weren't 100% accurate. So that was a little difficult, but we made our way there. So it was a lot of fun. There was a bunch of stuff that I could take away. I think the food that I ate this past week, I've got to get back on the wagon because the food was absolutely fantastic, and I need to be able to do that. I saw speaking of food, I saw we had a couple more qualifiers.
Oh, we killed it
so
this week.
What are we at now?
I think we're
9
12?
or 10?
No, we're like 12. Yeah.
Okay. Wow, so we're getting there. That's awesome.
Well, either 12 or 13. I'm not sure. When we finished work Friday, I think we were – was it 12 or 13, Drew? Do you remember?
We had 4 people qualify at the Springdale location. So I believe we were at 13.
At 13.
Okay, awesome. Anything else?
One more after I left then.
Anything else happened while I was gone? Big. I mean, I listened to the podcast on Friday and I think Thursday as well. I know y'all talked about Greg Sankey.
Yeah.
We mentioned the Dallas Cowboy Ring of Honor stuff with Jerry Jones and Jimmy Johnson. Just some football news and notes.
Few things. We got Drew set up and got everything kind of squared away when game day comes here. We got Drew's going to cover that for us since, we just got that handled.
Speaking of game day.
No need to talk about game day.
We've already
covered that a lot.
That was last
no need to even bring it up.
Okay.
Because I know you don't even need to want to talk about that. Maybe even coming to Fayetteville. So no need.
Do you think they?
No. We talked about it. I know you don't even. You're probably not even interested. Yeah, it's old news. Old news.
So you don't.
You're probably not even interested in it.
You don't want me to get Kirk Herbstreit on this week because.
Oh, we had him on last week.
So. Oh, you did?
Yeah, and Reese, Corso. We had them all.
God said not to tell lies, right? Especially on 4 radio stations, 15+ platforms. Like you don't want to be. We had
him on our podcast, our new podcast.
Your new podcast? Yeah. What's it called?
Mistrusting the Process.
Mistrusting the Process. So Alyssa Orange came on last night. It was really good to hear her reflect on a bunch of her career notes. And she had a relationship as a Florida State alum going to school there, getting to meet, talk, and have a relationship with Coach Bowden. So if you want to listen to that, you can always find it on hitthatline.com and wherever you listen to podcasts, just search Hit That Line. But yeah, I think Herbie is going to come on with us either tomorrow, Wednesday, or Thursday. We're still working on finalizing that. But yeah, I was looking because the college game day stuff is, how desirable I want that to actually happen.
Oh, you would trade 10 SEC media days and 2 trips to Augusta for this one game day.
Yeah, I would much rather have college game day in Fayetteville than go to Augusta National.
It's not going to happen, but
So why do you not think so?
Because it's the 20th remembrance of 9/11, and Air Force plays Navy that day, and that's where they're going to be.
You think that's where they're going to go?
I don't know how you don't do that.
That game's going to be on what, CBS, though?
I mean, how many times have they had game day where CBS is going to be?
They typically don't like to promote other networks. That's why the Ohio State-Oregon game, where a lot of people think they'd go, is on Fox at 11 a.m. They try not to do that. That's not to say it won't happen, but they try
a ton of. I'm just saying it's the 20th remembrance of 9/11, and Air Force plays Navy that day.
So you think it's just set in stone? It's going to happen?
I don't see how they don't do that.
Well, that's not to say that game, that atmosphere.
It just seems so easy. I mean, why would you not be there on 9/11?
Well, we'll have to see what happens because I know I actually got
I hate to burst your bubble right out of the.
Here's the response I got from ESPN Public Relations. On background, college game day locations are determined week to week with a number of things taken into consideration, matchups, storylines, etc. Week 2 site has not been determined. Our only confirmed location is Atlanta for week 0 and Charlotte for week number 1. So, yeah, the games I had down were Oklahoma State against Tulsa, which is on FS1, Ohio State versus Oregon, as I mentioned, on Fox, and Iowa State, Iowa is on ABC. That one's in Ames, and that's a top 15 matchup. So maybe they go there. I would think they would go there potentially, but you're talking about it's Air Force Navy game? Is that what you said?
Yes.
Okay.
In Annapolis, right?
That is correct.
Annapolis, Maryland, right? Okay. So I want to go to.
I would love it to be here, but I think it's a long shot.
I wouldn't want to go
to 0% chance, but I think it's a long shot.
I want to go to that Army-Navy game at some point.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's a bucket list deal, and that's doable for us because it's always in December after everything's kind of wrapped up in the regular season. Mm-hmm. Hey, is it 27 days?
26.
26 days from college football beginning here in our state. And don't forget, when you're looking for a place to watch the game, Joe's Grill and Cantina will be there with half-price apps and taps during every game, so you can kind of make your plans for the season. Also, don't forget dollar tacos every Tuesday and Saturday and live music on the patio. But don't forget half-price apps and taps during every Hog game. They'll have TVs around the restaurant, and you can get back to Joe's Grill and Cantina this season. 26 days away from Arkansas and Rice. Make your plans to be at Joe's Grill, South 74th Street across from Harps.
All right, we got some practice notes and observations to talk about, but let's talk about Bobby Bowden next.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagles Nest is coming in hot.
Hey, we get it. You don't want to be hearing a Progressive commercial right now, so let us tell you something you do want to hear. You are intelligent. You make all the right decisions. You were smart before smart was cool, and you made it cool again. You have a wealth of knowledge, and you are so very clever. I bet you already knew I was going to say that, you genius. There, don't you feel better? You'll also feel better when you hear you could save big when you switch to Progressive. But I'm pretty sure you already knew that, too. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
It's finally here. Your chance to win $365,000 every year for the rest of your life. Yep, the Lucky for Life game from the Arkansas Scholarship Lottery is better than ever. Now there's a drawing every single day. So don't wait. Get your ticket today. This is winning. Call or text 1-800-522-4700 for Problem Gambling Helpline.
I want barbecue that's sliced thick, smoked long, and so tender it melts in your mouth. Sides that will fill me up like a twice-baked potato, baked beans, hand-cut fries, okra, Texas toast. You know what I'm talking about? A restaurant where the whole family can go and get a great meal for a great price. Where the owner actually comes to your table to make sure everything tastes great. I'll tell you what I want. I want Jerry Neal's.
Did you invest in real estate only to find out that real estate takes up too much of your time? If you answered yes, then it's time to make a call to the experts. With more than 30 years of combined property management experience and more than 16,000 units managed, Trinity Multifamily are the ones to call. Get your life back. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Has the summer heat got you down? Got the back-to-school blues? Well, keep your cool, because I've got a deal to turn that rising mercury into sizzling savings for you. Just choose from a red-hot selection of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. That discount can go a long ways towards helping you get the nicer, newer car, truck, or SUV you've been wanting at a price and payment you can afford. If you're not ready to trade, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, click, call, or come by today and start driving better in a Rath road-ready vehicle and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. But don't wait. A smoking deal like this can't last forever and absolutely ends August 31st. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
Sir, the backyard's under attack. What is it, Johnson? Army worms, sir, and they're tearing everything up. Army worms. Launch a counterattack. Call Tri-Hill. Serving the River Valley since 1986, Tri-Hill Turf and Pest Control are there for all your needs. Just give us a call at 479-782-0404, and we'll put them worms back in the barracks.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Frank's going to throw into the end zone. Got a man. He's there. It's caught. Did he keep his feet down? He did. Touchdown, Arkansas. Touchdown, Arkansas. Trailing Burks. And the Hogs are on the board.
Just say, Alexa, play ESPN Arkansas.
ESPN Arkansas from TuneIn.
Got some Arkansas football observations to get to coming up here on the Morning Rush. Had a couple practices over the weekend. Friday was the kickoff, also Saturday and Sunday. They'll get into pads starting this Thursday. They're in helmets, and they put on some other stuff. And we've got Tom Murphy to discuss as he was there. He's coming up at 7:20, and we'll do a little more of that. But I do want to spend some time here on Coach Bobby Bowden, who unfortunately passed away at the age of 91, coming up.
Hey, if you thought about a trade in welding, but you don't know where to begin, you can make a great living as a career welder. Well, United Welding Institute, right here in our own backyard in Pottsville, Arkansas, trains career welders to make a living at $2,000 a week or more. Now, if you're interested and you think, that sounds like I'm pretty handy with a lot of other skills and trades, but I've not done welding, how about a free trial? United Welding Institute can set a time for you, give you the protective gear, the goggles, all the clothing and everything you need, and give it a try. Give you some instruction to find out, hey, do you have the aptitude and the vocation to take up welding? And if you do, they'll help you obtain a GI Bill, a scholarship, maybe a student loan to help cover the cost of your tuition. United Welding Institute in Pottsville has students from all over the country that come in to get their training. Currently, some students from Massachusetts and Pennsylvania have been here this last semester. So contact them for a free trial to get started, 479-968-3390. That's 968-3390, or log on at UnitedWeldingInstitute.com.
Also got some Hall of Fame speeches that we're going to get into. Coach Johnson, Steve Atwater inducted, also Cliff Harris, who's not a Razorback, but someone that a lot of you know, those Hall of Fame speeches. Peyton Manning also had a really, really good one that we'll get into coming up here on the Morning Rush. But I do want to spend some time here on Coach Bowden. Here is one of his former disciples, Jimbo Fisher, and the impact that he had from Coach.
And if he was outside by the pool, sometimes we had it at different places eventually, and sometimes there was a pool there if we were staying in a little dorm. He'd have his feet out there, and he always sat out there. We'd always sit, and he and I had a bad habit. We both chewed. And people didn't know that about it. We both chewed. We'd sit there to have the chew and bit, and everybody else would watch. But but he would talk to everybody. But just the knowledge he would put out and how he did things, the way he did things, stories about people back then, and back when he was learning to coach, how he admired Coach Bryant, how he admired the different people he grew up admiring in the day, and just listening to him, the volume of information you used to get. That was my favorite memories of him. It really was. Now, when I coached with him was phenomenal, and we had some unbelievable talks. So he was an unbelievable historian of the game and loved the game.
He took over in Tallahassee in 1976, quite a long time. The rivalry that he had with Steve Spurrier between the Noles and the Gators was a fantastic one. The back and forth that they had both on the field and off the field. I know Coach Spurrier had to say that, I enjoyed our relationship as coaches. We served for the Rising Stars, which helps young men and women from difficult backgrounds go to college and be successful. And he had some success, 411 wins, 2 national championships, 12 ACC titles. Tommy, his coaching acumen is one of the best that's ever stepped foot on a football field.
No argument about his resume and the wins that he mounted over the years and the championships, and probably could have been a couple of more in there. Wide rights certainly come up a couple of times when you tell the whole story. But
who has worse luck, Florida State kickers or Alabama kickers? I know it's been Alabama more recently.
Well, but the kickers haven't kept Alabama from winning the title. I mean, Florida State probably could have had a couple of more championships if it hadn't been for kickers.
It's odd to hear that, because just a few years ago, is it Robert Aguayo that there was their stud kisser that only missed 1 field goal all season or something insane like that? But then my dad and you and others would tell me stories of how bad Florida State kickers used to be.
Well, in the pressure moments, yeah. I mean, absolutely. Wide right. I mean, those big games with Miami, going back to pre-BCS, where the polls were what mattered, and you hope to get a matchup in the Orange Bowl or the Sugar Bowl or somewhere that you're trying to get a berth, but these big end of season or regular season matchups sometimes. But the big Sunshine State rivalries at the time when Miami and Florida State were both really good in the 90s, mm-hmm. those games mattered an immense amount on bowls and who was going to play who at the end of the year. So had a huge factor on the national championship picture, before the BCS. So, but a lot of these coaches, we were talking before the show, you look at Bear Bryant, who you mentioned his name, or you look at Joe Paterno, and You look at a lot of these coaches, and they coach, they retire, and they seem to be gone. They pass away within months of the end of their time coaching because they live to coach. They live to be part of that team. And they coach, well into a lot of times into their 70s. Now, Bear Bryant wasn't as old, but Paterno certainly was. Those are two examples. And a lot of times these legends, and legends are few, are gone quickly. Bobby Bowden retired and spent a lot of time speaking and sharing his testimony about his faith, well beyond his coaching career. And he's kind of an exception to the rule. And full life at 91 years old and very active until the last couple of years.
Mm-hmm. Retired in 2009 is when he ended up doing that. I couldn't remember. I know it was late 2000s, but that's when he did it. So you mentioned just kind of the coaches that it's almost like they don't have
their purpose in life.
Yeah,
it's their will to live.
It's taken away, and I'm curious, with the biggest legend being right now, Nick Saban, once he finally hangs up the headset, how much longer is he going to be around with Miss Terry? I know that Kurt Herbstreit, who I referenced in the first segment, has talked about wanting to get him on College Game Day at some point. And Coach Saban always asks him, how was because he does those guest spots when Alabama, once the Blue Moon loses prior to the college football playoff or the national championship, they'll get him on or they'll put him on CBS. And he always asks the guys, how did I do? How was I? I think there's a little bit of an inkling for him to potentially enter the broadcast world, but it's not the same burning desire that he has to coach young men day in, day out. It's just not the same. So as you just brought up, what does his timeline look like once he decides, it's time for me to stop coaching college football?
And I think that's a fear that they don't speak about, but a fear that amongst coaches that if I quit coaching, then what? Because that's all they know is being a part of a team, leading a team, coaching. Trying to make players and coaches around them better. And then when that's taken away or that's no longer there, and in a lot of cases Nick Saban's going to get to design and call his shot on his exit plan. Mm-hmm. Most coaches don't. Either a scandal or losing forces you out so many times, even the great ones. Paterno is a great example of a coach that, he didn't get to call his own exit. You just don't know what to do with your time. The will to live diminishes with a lot of these guys. So because football is what they're wired to do.
We'll say I was searching for things at times this past week to actually do because usually I'm so focused on like the show and us here at ESPN Argo. It's weird to just kind of have a little like free time. So I'm from that asset, that side of things, I can understand it a little bit.
Hey, we are well inside a month now, less than 4 weeks from the first game, and the Arkansas Department of Health wants everyone to continue to think about COVID vaccination. If you've gotten yours, great, and we've seen these numbers for vaccines going up by more than 10,000 a day in some cases around our state. Do the research. If you're still trying to figure out what the best decision is for you and maybe your family, go to healthy.arkansas.gov for more details. Find someone you trust to get that advice from. We're finding as hospitalizations and daily positive cases are increasing by close to 3,000 a day at times, that even young and healthy people are getting COVID-19. Let's slow the spread. Let's get our kids back in school. Go to healthy.arkansas.gov or call 1-800-985-6030 for more information about the vaccine for COVID-19.
All right, coming up, let's get into some football next.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Weir.
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse.
Some serious crappie.
Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tanya Tucker said when she died, she may not go to heaven because she didn't know if they let cowboys inside. Psalm 24 answers her question. Only those whose hands and hearts are pure, who do not worship idols and never tell lies. The only one qualified to meet that standard ascended after he died to pay the way for you to go inside. Believing in Jesus means he won't condemn us, and the only will be hotter than Texas. I'm Pastor E from Woodland. Think about it.
Buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC. Exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
AC not cooling like it should? Don't wait till you're sweating in a hot car. Get to Cherokee Tire & More in Mansfield, where they are ready to provide AC services for all your vehicle needs. Need new tires, oil change, or other services? Call or come by today and let James and his crew take care of all your vehicle needs. Cherokee Tire & More has semi-truck and ATV tires, along with truck accessories like rough country lift kits. Located at 700 Highway 71 North in Mansfield, Cherokee Tire & More is open Monday through Friday, 7 till 5:30, and Saturday, 7:30 till 2.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
At Ashley Air, keeping your home comfortable is what we do best. We're confident you'll make the right decision when trusting us with your AC cooling needs. For only $69, one of our technicians will make sure your AC cools when it matters the most. Our technicians specialize in keeping AC systems operating at peak capacity 24/7. Call us today so you can enjoy peace of mind knowing you'll stay cool and comfortable all summer.
AshleyAir.com.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One is a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Growing up, my parents always encouraged me to do what's right, even if it wasn't easy. I'd always hear my mother's voice say, "Do the right thing." That stuck with me. Every day, just do the right thing. That's it. The rest takes care of itself.
At Shelter Insurance, we believe in doing the right thing for our customers and our communities.
Ask Wade Gilkey in Fort Smith about Shelter's home insurance.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
Smith on the call, he's got a big hole, there he goes. Smith at the 40, to midfield, to the Florida 40, to the 30, to the 20, to the 10. Touchdown, Arkansas! Touchdown, Arkansas!
Follow us on Twitter at Ty Sports Radio and at Tommy Craft ESPN.
Headlines and football practice to get to here on a Hot Take Monday edition of the Morning Rush. You can always listen to the press conferences, the interviews that we have on hitthatline.com, our YouTube channel as well. Not just Coach Pittman, KJ Jefferson, Coach Guyton, Coach Carter. I mean, there are so many interviews of players and coaches football-wise. I know it is football season. We're 26 days out, and I know you want to listen to it, and we'll get to some of that coming up here on the Morning Rush.
Yeah, got lots of that audio from hitthatline.com. We're going to play for you here coming up. It's brought to you by Wheels RV on a Hot Take Monday. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. A lifetime warranty on every new unit they sell, plus a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So go by and see Lee J and Chris and the whole crew and find out why, once again, they were voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. That's Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
Traylon Smith's been named to the Earl Campbell Tyler Rose Award watch list, another watch list for an Arkansas football player. Now, we've talked a lot of football to this point, but I saw Peyton Stovall, that top 50 recruit for Arkansas baseball, arrived on campus on Friday. I think that was from Matt Jones of the Arkansas Democrat-Gazette. He was trying to get drafted in that first round, didn't, and so now he is coming to campus. He's from Louisiana. I know a bunch of people are really excited about him. You got a bunch of Hall of Fame audio and quotes from this weekend. I want to start with the non-Razorback. We will get to Steve Atwater and Jimmy Johnson, but here was Peyton Manning's a bit of his speech, and I thought it was really good. Take a listen.
When we leave this stage tonight, it is no longer about us. It is about cultivating the game that has given so much to us. It's about nurturing football to live and thrive another day, another year, decade, and another generation. It's about guaranteeing that kids everywhere can learn, bond, grow, and have fun with every flag pulled, every tackle made, every pass thrown, every run, block, sack, and touchdown scored.
I know a lot of people listened to his speech and pointed to and made the idea about this could be the next NFL commissioner. I know that's what some people have said. I'm really excited about the upcoming Monday Night Football with him, Eli, and whoever else they have on each week.
Well, in his speech, he made some fun of and poked fun at the time restraints that each of them were put under. I wish he'd have been given it like one more minute to give the same speech, because his speech was like in the hurry up, no huddle. I mean, it was clearly scripted, which all of these were, and you would want to be very prepared for your thoughts and what you wanted to say, which all of them were. But he was rushing through it, which I hated, because I'd have liked to have seen – I didn't think he did as good a job as I know Peyton would be capable of doing had he been given another 90 seconds just to deliver the same script. It just felt very rushed to me last night, but the message was very strong. And I thought there were some funny moments, but you played the moment about the future of the game and trying to shepherd that through. And then when it was pointed out last night by Rich Eisen and folks, the number of visual aids, I guess, he had on the screens there. You didn't see it so much watching TV, but they said he had a photo for every point. It was like a presentation, I think exactly how they put it watching this last night, that, with all the screens there in Canton, he had some kind of a picture or something to go along with just about every moment of his speech.
So that was his Hall of Fame speech.
He was prepared, surprising.
Yeah. Jimmy Johnson had his, but also Steve Atwater, the smiling assassin. Here were some of the things he had to say.
I stand here because of so many incredible people who have stood beside me. To David Baker, to your team, thank you for a dream come true. I'm humbled and honored to wear this gold jacket. Congratulations to the class of 2020. It was a little bit of a wait. Hey, we're up in this thing now, right? We're here. I also want to congratulate the class of 2021. And to everyone here on stage today, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. What a squad. Come on, man. What a squad we got up here.
So it was cool to see Steve and the other guys that were picked in the 2020 class to actually get to have a speech because of COVID and everything this past year. So for them to delay it, I know people were a little aggravated and frustrated, but they got the full experience this year by having to wait a year rather than go through it this past year.
Yeah, they got their due. The cool thing about Atwater's speech is the cutaways to Coach Hatfield, the references to Arkansas. I mean, Cliff Harris, his speech had not the Razorback references, but references to our state. So, but with Steve Atwater's speech, I mean, how many times several times they showed Coach Hatfield on on screen. So it was I thought between his and Coach and not so much with Jimmy's was more about pro football, but it was a great, I think, representation of the University of Arkansas and our state as a whole.
Mm-hmm. I think it's the 4th and 5th players
correct
that have played for the Arkansas Razorbacks to be inducted into the Hall of Fame, both Steve Atwater and Jimmy Johnson. So really cool to see the Razorback be a part of not just College Football Hall of Fame, but it's this weekend, we know, in Canton, Ohio, in the Hall of Fame. Now, you've been to Canton?
I have not been to Canton. I thought Jimmy Johnson's was really good. I don't know if you watched any of them last night. Charles Woodson's, I thought his was the last speech last night. I thought his was maybe the best of all of the speeches. I just his delivery, maybe he wasn't under the time crunch. Some of the others, the way he spoke about his mom, I thought Charles Woodson's speech to close things down last night might have been the best of the lot of the 2 days.
They get about 8 minutes.
8 minutes is 8 or so minutes was what they were getting each, and
that goes fast. That sounds long, but then you get up there and you start rambling a little bit. I know that a lot of these guys try and be structured, but then you think of a thought, something else comes up. That's why sports radio is nice.
I think they use a teleprompter, though. It looked like a lot of them were. John Lynch's speech was really good last night.
The San Francisco 49ers general manager.
Right, and talked about his days with Tampa Bay and as a player, and then much like Peyton Manning, who finished his career with the Denver Broncos. So, I mean, I thought – last night, I mean, both nights were great, but I thought Charles Woodson, the last one, was really magnificent last night.
Did you listen to Pearson's? I didn't get a chance to listen.
I saw the highlights of his. I did not see all of Drew Pearson's.
Okay.
I watched most of these live, but Drew's I did not get a chance to see the whole thing.
So you can find those on YouTube, NFL.com. They'll have them up there for you. We're going to go to the phone lines, 877-377-6963. It's a Hot Take Monday, and you're more than welcome to get in your hot take this morning. Arkansas football, couple practices over the weekend. Ryan in Hot Springs has a question about the Arkansas defensive line. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah, with the weight that they've put on, the depth that we've got on, this secondary could very well be very, very formidable. This could be one of the better defenses we've had in a long time. It obviously probably won't be better than the 2014 defense, but it could be. I'm not gonna say it'll even rival it, but it'll, give Arkansas fans something to cheer about and hold their head up high about, though. I'm just excited about Zach Williams, how much weight he's put on. I feel like he's probably going to be a force to be reckoned with. And if you'll wonder why I picked him out, I actually sold him fish whenever he was in the 8th grade when Ricky would bring him in. That was a pretty cool experience. I got to hear some war stories from Ricky. And I hope y'all have a good day, a good week, and go Hogs.
Thanks, Ryan. Appreciate the call, buddy. Yeah, I think it's still the defensive line is the position group that I have the most questions about. Now, Clay will get on here tomorrow. We'll get a chance to talk with him, what he saw from practice this week. We'll have Tom coming up in about 40 minutes, and that's still the biggest question mark to me of this entire football team. I know you can say special teams, which, listen, again, if you want to say that, that's fine. But if you want to pick between offense and defense, for me, it's the defensive line.
And I think that's fair. Spoke with Clay. I was on with Derek on Friday filling in for Zach, and we had Clay on the show just a little bit after he had seen practice, and he spent his time watching defensive line. And you can see guys, and you can see physically how they look when there's no shoulder pads, there's no full – when you don't really know what you've got with defensive line. You got numbers. You've got some guys that he thought were very physically impressive at this point based on where you're at. There's some size and some speed, but really until you even get shoulder pads on, I guess, tomorrow and then full pads on Thursday, you'll have a little better idea in the next day or two. But Thursday's when you're really going to start having an idea of what you've got.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because that's when, again, full pads will start. That's when the hidden will start a little bit more, and you're really excited about that because it's just – what did he say? What Pittman say? Underwear? How much can you, learn from guys playing in their underwear? That's what he said.
I remember – well –
he's talking about the secondary.
Yeah. I don't remember that phrase, but I mean Reggie Herring, who used to be here, used to say, "You don't fry bacon in the nude. You don't play football without pads." That was his.
You don't fry bacon in the nude. and you don't play football without pads.
Yeah.
What a quote from the former defensive coordinator at the University of Arkansas. How about that?
That's the one I always like to go to.
All right, let's go back to the phone lines. Welcome in Eddie in Clarksville. He's excited for this upcoming college football season. Eddie, what are the Razorbacks going to look like in 2021?
Certainly, sir. Thank you for asking me that. No matter where I go in the River Valley, people ask me, where's the passion come from? What's the season going to be like? And for this old boy, it has really special meaning because I grew up. There's a game come September 11th at Donald Razorback Stadium that a lot of this fan base have never took part in. It's one of the greatest rivalries in college football. And to me, it's going to dictate how this season's going to go. Question marks for this team. And I hope this fan base shows up with the passion that I grew up with and greet the Hook'em Horns with a big bow of Woo-Pig Suey. And I'm just so excited. And again, gentlemen, it has special meaning to me. And what a rivalry it is. I've asked your take when you talk about the defensive line. I'm anxious to see the phenom, Mr. Ball from Georgia, 6'5", 310 pounds. Can he add depth to get to the quarterback and put him on his rear end? I hope that takes place. But I'll end it today, gentlemen. You talk about moments in time, Mr. Steve Atwater. Certainly has special meaning to me. Congratulations, you, sir. What memories, what Eddie from Clarksville calls home delight, you provided on the field. And not only all fans and the Arkansas Razorbacks, but you went on to have a great career, to win 2 Super Bowls for the Denver Broncos.
And he was if I remember that. Eddie, thanks for the call, buddy. It was really cool to see Steve inducted this weekend. Now, he was the one that had that, was it a strip stack on Brett Favre in that one Super Bowl that changed the dynamic of that game?
Right. Yeah. I think that's right. I don't know.
I need your help here because that's an older Super Bowl.
I've slept a few nights since then. That sounds right.
Okay,
So.
If I remember that correctly, someone help me out. Again, that's a Super Bowl. I say a little bit before my time. That might have been like right as I was born or something
bet
around
a 20
there.
on it.
So that's I know that he said, and we always talk about the hit he had on. Say his name for me. The hit he had on the Kansas City running back. That's
Christian Okoye.
Christian Okoye. And what was, I know, Smiling Assassin, what was Okoye's nickname?
That I don't know.
That you don't know. Okay.
Christian Okoye.
He had some big time nickname that I'm thinking of. So, but yeah, really cool to see Mr. Atwater, Jimmy Johnson, Cliff Harris, and a bunch of notable names: Charles Woodson, Drew Pearson, Jimmy John. I mean, the list goes on and on with the guys, not just Razorback affiliated, but players that you grew up loving over the years. Them over the weekend, just them impact.
Bill Cowher, a coach that coaching name you would know. So. I mean, but it's the Hall of Fame. I mean, right? So these should be names.
The Nigerian Nightmare is what our buddy Joey in Fish City said. I knew he had a specific nickname, but I couldn't remember
that one
what
didn't
it
register
was.
with me.
Christian Okoye, the Nigerian Nightmare. So,
but it's just great to see so many Arkansas and Razorback ties to the Hall of Fame because it's rare, And we were talking about when's the next Razorback player likely to get in, and we were figuring last week it's probably Jason Peters. I mean, I think he's a surefire Hall of Famer, but so sometime in the next however many, 7 years from now, 8 years from now, whenever it be, you wouldn't think he would have to wait that long when his, if he a first ballot, I don't know, but you wouldn't think it would be many ballots to get him into the Hall of Fame either. But with the kind of career he's had.
Coming up, we'll talk some Arkansas football practice. Tom Murphy's going to join us to give more of a recap, some of the impacts, some of the words, some of the thoughts from Sam Pittman, KJ Jefferson coming up.
All right, Standard Materials Group and APAC Arcola, one great company looking for ready-mix drivers in many different places around our listing area. If you're in our 104.3 listing area, in the Harrison Mountain Home area, they are looking for ready-mix drivers for their plant. just south of Harrison. You can go by and apply there. They're looking for help there. In Fort Smith, the River Valley, they're needing ready-mix drivers. And in Northwest Arkansas, Standard Materials Group is needing help there as well for ready-mix drivers. So if you have that CDL license without an automatic restriction, you want to work with a great company that has room for advancement, room to grow within their company, they have it for you at APAC, Arcola, and Standard Materials Group. Great benefits. You sometimes forget how much benefits are worth, whether it's not just the health insurance, the dental, the vision, the whole package, plus profit sharing with their company as well. Here's where you can also go to apply, jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. APAC, Arcola, and Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
A lot has been made about KJ Jefferson's weight. I saw so many people commenting about that. He's at 247 right now, wants to be in that 230, 235 range. Here was KJ when asked about that.
Conditioning-wise, I feel like I still can be in better shape. I'm trying to cut down on the little weight that I gained over the summer. But far as just working out, I feel like I put on a lot of muscle mass, but I just want to at least cut down the weight, just body fat percent.
Of all the things I thought I was going to come back and talk about this week, I did not think KJ Jefferson's weight was going to be do that. But I've seen so many people.
Normally you have to talk about a little weight loss after vacation, but it's normally your weight, not somebody else's.
Not someone else's, but because I definitely packed on the pounds this weekend and what I ate. But this was like I don't want to say the number one storyline, but I saw so many people like, KJ needs to lose weight. KJ needs to lose weight.
They wouldn't even know it if he hadn't brought it up. I mean, number one, 247, is that heavy for – he's got to determine what the correct weight is to be at his peak. I saw Trey Knox.
Right. That's hard to say.
Yeah, the right weight for him, because I saw Trey Knox talking about he's put on 15 good pounds over the summer, and he's having to adjust at playing at that weight, that he's never played that big. He called himself always being a string bean, that he's not used to carrying that much muscle. And it's different. So, I mean, you've got to figure out, and these guys, running backs, quarterbacks, wide receivers, always have to figure out how much good weight can I carry and still not give up speed. And for quarterbacks, particularly if you're going to be an RPO quarterback, you don't want to get too light and be susceptible to injury, but you don't want to be too heavy and be too slow either. So, I mean, it's the delicate balancing act, and sometimes you just got to play with it to figure out, is that 5 or 10 pounds make that big a difference? He'll know when he gets there.
You don't necessarily want him to be like overly big, but as you mentioned, overly small, because I think people are a little concerned about the stature of Malik Hornsby being as skinny as he is, but now people are like, oh, well, KJ weighs too much. I don't really care what KJ weighs, how big or how small. I just want him to play to the best of his ability. That has never bothered me to see, oh, well, this guy doesn't have a six-pack, he's not ready, or this guy isn't as jacked, or he should be skinny, or he's got to put on weight. I've always believed whatever you feel like and whatever the coach, strength and conditioning coach, I mean, leave that up for Jamil Walker, right? Like, I should not be one dictating what KJ Jefferson should play at.
Leave
correct?
That up to KJ Jefferson. He knows where his body is going to work at the optimum performance. I mean, and I'm 247 sounds a bit heavy for a guy that's not 6'6" or 6'7", but again, that's beyond my pay grade to determine what's best. And I know this: you want a guy that's going to have some durability in that spot, particularly if you're going to run your quarterback some, and that's part of the plan this year.
It was nice to get a chance to see KJ talk about this upcoming season, see Coach Pittman as well. It's also, they got to actually speak with Coach Pittman in person in the media. I obviously wasn't there because I was on vacation this past week, but it was good to see people sit down on Friday with him face-to-face, person-to-person, because I just feel like you get more of a feel
Thursday and Friday
on that. Yeah, Thursday and Friday.
Yeah.
So what were some of your takeaways from Coach?
Particularly Thursday. I was on the air Friday when I was getting ready to start the show Friday afternoon with Derek, but when he spoke with the media, actually, that's not correct. Friday, he spoke after practice. I was on I listened to all of Thursdays. And that 30 minutes, I thought the common theme was we're searching for the number 2s and 3s, and we're really trying to develop depth. I mean, he talked about a lot of things from the quarterbacks He talked about defensive line. He talked about looking for corners. He talked about a lot of different positions and things that need to be identified. And we went through a lot of that on Friday, Ty. But I thought if you really listened to the whole 30 minutes from Thursday, and I think we get wrapped up into this, that camp in August is about figuring out who the starters are, and we spend too much time worried about who the number ones are. I think if you listen to him, they know a lot of the starters. They know who's starting at most of those spots. What they don't know is who the number 3 guy is, who the number 2 guy is. And can you figure out who number 3 is, as he was talking about with the quarterbacks? We got to figure out, is it John Stephen Jones so he can have a battle with Malik Hornsby? Because they feel really confident with KJ Jefferson from what he was saying. And I think that's true with a lot of spots, whether it's left guard or defensive line. They got to figure out who the 2s and the 3s are. And we get so wrapped up in the conversation of who the starter is, we forget how important it is to figure out who next year's starter might be coming out of this camp.
And I think that's always the issue with Arkansas is when you go toe-to-toe with a lot of players in the SEC, if you just look at the starters, not necessarily just the 2 deep, but Arkansas, as you heard from Sam Pittman talk in our open, and you can also listen to in our show rundown as well, they have talent, but it's the depth that is always concerning if you're Arkansas football, because when you get into the 2s and 3s and 4s, you simply don't stack up to a lot of the upper tier, the Georgias, the Alabamas, the LSUs, the Floridas at times. Not necessarily always the case when you dive in a little bit more. So if Arkansas can build that, if they can figure that out, as you're discussing with Coach Pittman, that's going to be big for this upcoming season, especially in year number 2.
I mean, you got Bumper Poole and Grant Morgan at linebacker. You feel great about those 2 spots. How good do you feel beyond that? I mean, you feel really good at running back with Traylon Smith. Who's the number 2 running back? We can go out here and ask a bunch of people that really, we could ask 5 different people in the media and probably get 4 different answers.
Tell you different things.
Right, because I don't think the coaches, I think this camp is a lot, when you look at that, who's going to be the number 2 running back? I think that is way up in the air. And the number 3 running back. You're not going to do it with one guy, certainly. We know that. I don't think you're going to do it with 2 this year. So figuring out the number 2 and 3 running back over the next 2 weeks is crucial. And that's what this scrimmage this Saturday and the scrimmage the following Saturday will be about, is trying to really kind of get a depth chart order on 2s and 3s. That's what I took away from his words, particularly Thursday.
I want to save this conversation for a little bit coming up. Devion Warren, Coach Pittman was asked about Devion and just him coming back, how impactful he can be. I know a lot of people are looking for Trey Knox to step up in year number 3, and that was one of the things I asked Coach Pittman at SEC Media Days is, why did Trey take such a big step back after a promising freshman year? And he said, well, I don't know if that's necessarily fair, but I get where you're coming from, because he said other guys just stepped up. Now, we've heard from Coach Pittman that he felt like Devion Warren was the second best wide receiver on this football team prior to going down. I don't know if he believes that 100%. I don't know if that was a shot at Mike Woods, but you're still going to have that second guy. And I don't know what you're going to see from Jaquaylin Crawford this year. I don't know what you're going to see from some of the other guys in that locker room. I know people are excited about Darren Turner and Megatron, Keytron Jackson and others, Trey Knox. I mean, you have to have a second guy to take some pressure off Mr. Traylon Burks, because he's an All-American, he's an All-SEC guy, but he can't be that without some help. Which guy is going to step up in 2021? A lot of people think it's Devion Warren. We'll hear Coach Pittman and others talk about that coming up.
Brought to you by World of Wireless, 877-305-DISH. Get a $100 Visa gift card when you make the move to DISH right now. And they'll get you installed before this weekend. Football season is less than 4 weeks away. It was 4 weeks from Saturday, so you got like 26 days till the Hogs kick off. So it's time for you to get the Hopper system, get the Dish Anywhere app so you can watch games on the go. You can record your favorite stuff. Also get that $100 Visa gift card. Movie channels for free. HBO is back on Dish. A lot of great reasons to sign up, plus the voice-activated remotes. 877-305-DISH. Call our buddies at World of Wireless. That's 877-305-3474.
You got 26 days till the first game against Rice. Classes start August the 23rd. How are the players, how are the coaches feeling? That's next.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer.
Welcome to Toyota's National Sales Event.
Thanks, Jen. You know, I've been waiting to get a great deal on a new Toyota all year.
Great deals are kind of our thing. Right now, we've got exciting offers on our lineup of 2021s, like Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tacoma.
Oh, wait, look at that Highlander. Jen, do you mind watching Chance?
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Jen. You're the best.
Listen, Chance, I run a tight ship around here, so I don't want any funny business. Aw, who's a good boy? Toyota's National Sales Event is on, but these offers won't last long. Visit your participating Toyota dealer today. No, Chance, that's a display. It's not real grass.
Right now, qualified lessees can lease a new 2021 Tundra Special Edition for only $419 a month for 24 months with $29.99 due at signing. Toyota, let's go places. Visit Toyota.com for details. Offers available in select states and N9721.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is growing and looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building experience or you have welding skills, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay, health, dental, and vision benefits. Join the top fence building team in the state. The Fence Man. Apply today in person. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
To some, that may just sound like ice hitting heavy-duty plastic. But to a Bud Light legend, it's a signal that says it's time. Time to dust off the barbecue tongs and load up the cooler with 37 Bud Lights and an assortment of dips. Because it's time to take back all the fun we've missed. Welcome back, Bud Light legends. Let's take summer by the coolers. Cooler up at BudLightLegends.com. Enjoy responsibly. 2021 AB Bud Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Are your real estate investments being properly managed? Are you sending a check or cashing a check each month? If you're tired of your current property managers, then call Trinity Multifamily. Trinity will qualify your tenants and leases, inspect your properties, and take care of maintenance and provide you with web-based access to current financial reports, leases, and pictures of your property. Call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Do you remember the joy you felt as a kid about pizza night? Remember how good it smelled? You could taste it even before you opened the box. And then that first bite. It was so good. Be the supper time savior. Order Jim's Razorback Pizza now. 434-3456. The best pizza in Fort Smith, or it's free.
Jim's Razorback Pizza. Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Hi, folks. Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Has the summer heat got you down? Got the back-to-school blues? Well, keep your cool, because I've got a deal to turn that rising mercury into sizzling savings for you. Just choose from a red-hot selection of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. That discount can go a long ways towards helping you get the nicer, newer car, truck, or SUV you've been wanting at a price and payment you can afford. If you're not ready to trade, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3, get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, click, call, or come by today and start driving better in a Rath road-ready vehicle and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. But don't wait. A smoking deal like this can't last forever and absolutely ends August 31st. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies are high this afternoon into the lower 90s. A mainly clear sky in place tonight. We drop down low 70s. Tuesday, sunny skies are high firmly in the mid 90s, mid to upper 90s on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Follow us on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Busch Light Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by Farm Credit. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com.
I want y'all to understand, we got talent. Some teams don't have talent. We got talent, man. Do we have the mindset, the mental work ethic to use what we have talent-wise? I believe y'all believe in us, and I know we sure as hell believe in you. I believe that with all my heart. I'd be so disappointed if it wasn't true. So I believe that you're going to do whatever we ask you because you believe in us, that when we go in that stadium, look, all we want to see you guys do is win. That's all we want. We want success for you.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Busch Light Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from HitThatLine.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
We're 26 days out from the first Razorback football game. Classes start back for not just Arkansas football players, but U of A students August the 23rd. As we approach this upcoming season in year 2 of Sam Pittman, how do you think the coaching staff is feeling? How do you think the players are feeling? I know they're itching to get back inside of Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium in front of a full crowd. What are your thoughts heading in as we get closer and closer from these players and coaches? We'll get into that coming up.
My kids go back a week from today.
Early.
Public school, 16th, yeah. So
I know in Dallas, where I was this past week, some schools had already started to make up for the lost time they had last year.
Really?
First week of August. Tough on those kids. Short summer.
Oh, well. So, Hot Take Monday brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 on 549 in Springdale. The best brands, the best prices, been around over 20 years. Lee J. Ferris, Chris Owens, they are there and dedicated to customer service before and after the sale. So not only are they going to treat you great, but even after the sale, when you want great customer service, you need something repaired, you got that lifetime warranty, so you have no worries. In fact, it's the only lifetime warranty dealer in Northwest Arkansas and the River Valley, and they have factory-trained, certified technicians to get your RV back on the road. They have a new paint and collision center to take care of all of your needs as well. That's Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
By the way, on Friday, Drew, did you and Phil have a Thick Burger Challenge eat-off? Did either of you guys compete against one another?
No, we didn't. I was planning on doing it. I just ran out of time. That unfortunately, there just aren't enough hours in the day. I would have done it. I planned on doing it. We just ran out of time. We had too many important topics, too many things to talk about on Friday. I was going to do it the last segment, but
It's a little
we only have 2 hours. I mean, if we had a third hour, I definitely would have been able to get it in.
A little disappointed. What did you say? We're up to 12 or 13 now?
12, yeah.
Okay, so we got, 3 open spots?
3,
we're
yeah.
15, so I'm going to be there at the, I think, Grand Fort Smith location tomorrow, and then back at the Phoenix location on Thursday, if I remember that schedule correctly. But really excited about that. Now, football, we've got in 26 days. I mentioned class starting the 23rd. You're getting a chance to hear more from the players, more from the coaches because of camp starting back. And, again, they'll start pads on Thursday. Now, so what they do, they did helmets on Friday, and then the next 2 days they did.
I think it's first. Now, I know these rules there's conversation about changing some of the camp rules, and obviously 2-a-days and all that stuff's been gone for a while. But helmets and shorts for 3 days, and they go what they call shells, which is just shoulder pads and shorts to acclimate you into that, and then full pads with, thigh pads, knee pads, butt pad, the whole schmear on Thursday.
Recite the quote from Reggie Herring again. What did you say he used to say?
His old phrase, as I recall it, was, "You don't fry bacon in the nude, and you don't play football without pads." That was because there was always these questions, as I remember. And this is going back 15 years now when he was coaching the defense here. There's always these questions about the defense and who's doing what and level of physical, all these early camp questions, and you can't really answer them. That was his point, was I don't know, because we're not playing in pads yet. Because you don't fry bacon in the nude, you don't play football without pads.
I know people are itching to just keep hearing reports. Again, Tom will come up in about 15 minutes. Get that. Clay will be with us tomorrow. Make sure you're following all of our content on hitthatline.com, our YouTube channel as well, so you can get as many updates about that. So you're inside that locker room. You're an Arkansas football player. We'll distinguish this conversation. We'll separate between players and coaches. There are a ton of super seniors. What's the count on that? You had the count at one point.
23 all, 11 of the super seniors, and then you add the other, I think it's 23 all together.
Total. So there's a good chunk of experience in that locker room, and Coach Pittman and others have talked about how important that experience is going to be for this upcoming college football season, particularly in a guy in Grant Morgan who's really anchoring that defense.
And Sam talked about that Thursday. This is without question the most veteran team he's ever coached. And Clay and I were talking about it Friday morning. There's probably never been a more veteran football team at the University of Arkansas. And there's probably other programs that could say that as well, but there's probably going to be a year where there's never been a more veteran lineup in a lot of places. And will that lead to some upsets? Probably so. Some guys that are just more mature physically, mentally, more confidence built. But there's never been a lineup or a roster put together at Arkansas that had more playing experience, Ty, than what you're going to have this year.
And what I was thinking about is you just addressed is we can talk about talent up and down all day long. These will be guys that, you think about last season, not a single one of the college football players played in a full stadium and in a full crowd. And I've wondered what Bryce Young, how he'll react to Gainesville, Florida. I think that game's in week 2, and then followed up in College Station week number 4, the Alabama quarterback, several others. And I know KJ Jefferson doesn't have a ton of SEC experience. That's something I asked Coach Pittman about at SEC Media Days is, Coach, not just him, but Malik Hornsby. So you've got one start for KJ against Missouri. He's played a little bit against Mississippi State 2 years ago. Does he just have one start? Am I doing that math right? Because Malik doesn't have any. And
right.
KJ
just has the one against Missouri.
And that's it.
That's it.
So that locker room.
John Stephen Jones has
at least one. At least one.
Yeah.
So you have a combined 2 starts, if we're doing the math correctly, in that locker room. So we can talk about experience being very important for this football team, but your most important position on the football field doesn't have jack squat in terms of that. And I think, listen, and I think, and I've already been on the record saying I think KJ is going to be that middle of the pack, top 8, top 7 quarterback. I think he's going to be successful, but I do wonder as they enter different stadiums, a Baton Rouge, Louisiana, Death Valley, a Bryant-Denny Stadium against Alabama, an Athens, Georgia, some of the tougher venues they'll play in this college football season. How does he react to that? Because he's never been in it. Are we really going to sit here and say Missouri, 25% capacity, is a tough place to play a college football game? No. How does he specifically react to that? Because there's a lot of people that think he's going to be highly successful. I'm kind of in that middle. I don't think there's some people that don't think he's going to have a good year. I think those people are ludicrous, but I also don't think he's going to be a top 3, top 4 quarterback. I'm going to find him somewhere in the middle. How does he specifically react to that this upcoming season? You talk about experience all you want. We can circle around that. But the guy you need to have it the most doesn't have it, period. That's what you need to come back to when it comes to that experience conversation.
Here's the good news. Games 1, 2, and 3 are all in your stadium at home.
It's a good point.
And I think that's great experience for this team to be able to start out with Rice and Texas and then Georgia Southern before you have to go to Arlington. And what is billed as a neutral site game in Arkansas.
2 starts, LSU 2019. So I knew there was one more. I just couldn't think of what it was.
Before you really get mentally prepared to go to Athens, Georgia, where you're going to have to play before what should be your most hostile crowd. So 3 home starts for KJ Jefferson will serve him well before a true road trip to begin October.
Mm-hmm. And even the 4th game, it's in Arlington. It's not even in.
Right, should be a neutral site.
It's be a neutral site, so it'll be 50-50. So he'll get a little warm up, but that is something as excited as you are about experience on this football team, which you should be. And Sam Pittman and Coach Briles and Coach Odom and so many others have stressed about that. That is still a question mark. Is just his lack, not just his lack of experience with 2 starts, but that entire quarterback room. How do they adjust to that? Well, experience, it's good in some cases, but I think KJ will have success nevertheless. All right, coming up, Tom Murphy is going to join us. We'll get into some football. Also want to discuss Bobby Bowden next.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at Wheels.
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, sacalé.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouth. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappie.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tanya Tucker said when she died, she may not go to heaven because she didn't know if they let cowboys inside. Psalm 24 answers her question. Only those whose hands and hearts are pure, who do not worship idols and never tell lies. The only one qualified to meet that standard ascended after he died to pay the way for you to go inside. Believing in Jesus means he won't condemn us, and the only will be hotter than Texas. I'm Pastor Ethan Woodland. Think about it.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
During the month of August, Frank Rowe Furniture is having a store-wide super sale. That's huge savings for everyone. Savings on furniture, mattresses, dining sets, and appliances. Frank Rowe Furniture is also offering discounts on cash and finance through Snap Financing. Only $39 down. You heard right, $39 down. Family-owned and serviced after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
Have you ever been to River City Bistro for a brunch on the weekends? Every Saturday and Sunday, River City is open at 10 a.m. with a special brunch menu. Eggs and omelets any way you like. Premium bacon, sausage and ham, waffles, eggs Benedict, and a great drink menu featuring mimosas, Bloody Marys, and all your brunch favorites. We will see you for brunch every Saturday and Sunday starting at 10 a.m. at River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
Farm Credit has
been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Have your travel plans changed? Looking for a place that's close to home and keep your family safe? Gaston's White River Resort is located on the beautiful White River. They offer private accommodations in their lodges and cabins. Most cabins have a fully equipped kitchen, or let their restaurant staff deliver to your cabin. Call 870-431-5202 and change your plans to Gaston's White River Resort. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
If you think nothing good happens after dark, you clearly never brought the crew to B-Dubs. Our new half-off late-night food will make you wish you were nocturnal. Every night starting at 9 p.m., get 50% off Ultimate Nachos, chips and salsa, plus crispy buffalo chicken tots or Dirty Dubs tots. So don't sleep on our late-night food and $3 Tall House beer. Grab the crew and get the Buffalo Wild Wings for late night. Valid 7/12 through 8/31 at participating locations starting at 9 p.m. till close for dine-in only. 50% off only available on select items. Add-ons cost extra. Excludes other offers. Excludes tax and alcohol. Please drink responsibly.
You know the old saying, give weeds an inch and they'll take your yard. Call Tri-Hill to fight off those weeds. We do yard treatments, fertilization at an affordable price, and always our estimates are free. We also do arbor jets for trees and treatment for your shrubs. Call Tri-Hill Turf and Pest Control, servicing the River Valley since 1986. Area code 479-782-0404. Tri-Hill Turf and Pest Control.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Kraft.
It is to Alex Collins straight up the middle, and Collins on the run. They won't catch him. Alex Collins is going to take it all the way to the house. Touchdown, Arkansas, 80 yards.
Listen to every Razorback football game this season right here and hitthatline.com.
Sir Brad Nessler on the call of Alex Collins' 2015 touchdown run against the LSU Tigers, 80 yards. If I remember that correctly, maybe 75. I was listening to those wide right calls, Tommy. A lot of those were Brad Nessler on those calls. So I had forgotten about the matchups with Miami and Florida State, because a lot of those, again, were pre my time, how competitive those games were. But as you mentioned, Coach Bowden might have a few more national championships under his belts if he had a better kicker or two, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, a couple of those kicks in high-pressure situations certainly probably turned the fate of a national championship or two for Florida State. Hey, brought to you by the Arkansas Department of Health, who wants to remind you again that take a look at all the information. If you haven't gotten your vaccination yet, take a look at the information. Find someone you trust. Ask the questions. If not for yourself, get vaccinated to help protect children under the age of 12 who are going back to school soon and not yet eligible to get the vaccine. They're 100% effective at preventing severe COVID. Not sitting here telling you that if you take the vaccine, you won't test positive for COVID, because we have seen cases and stories where, you come back and you do test positive, but what we are seeing is the odds of you going to the hospital or getting severely ill with this are almost nil. I mean, it's just not happening, and people are, it is a fraction of a percent of the people that are dying from COVID as a result or after having their vaccination. So do the research, look at the numbers. We like to study stats in sports a lot. Study these stats and make the best decision for yourself and your family, because one thing we are seeing is younger people and healthier people are even getting this new variant of COVID-19. For more information, go to healthy.arkansas.gov. We want to get back to normal. We want to have full stadiums. We want to get back to our normal lives. Healthy.arkansas.gov, or go to 1-800-985-6030 and call them for more information. That's 800-985-6030.
At the age of 91, Bobby Bowden is no longer with us. Started in Florida State in 1976, but actually started in college football in 1954. Had coaching stops at South Georgia State, Sanford, and West Virginia. He was a College Football Hall of Fame member as of 2006. 2 national championships, a ton of wins, 411 to be exact, and then 12 ACC titles. And he's known for just his football superiority on the field, his coaching acumen, and then also what he's done off the field. And Tom, what you've stressed already this morning once and before we came on is just his will to impact several years. Retired in 2009, just passed away this year. That's 12 years of something that he continued to preach and talk about years after he was done with coaching college football.
I can't tell you, 5, 6, 7 different Twitter posts and social media posts over the weekend from coaches that people you hadn't heard of, high school coaches, small college coaches that had been to a coaching clinic or a coaching convention to hear Bobby Bowden speak at some point in their career. Coaches of all ages, in their 30s, in their 50s, in their 60s, that had heard Coach Bowden speak, and they thought they were going to hear something about some aspect of football, whether it's offense or defense or developing a staff or something, and it turned out to be a lot more about life and how to treat people and faith and their relationship with God, a lot more than it turned out to be with football, and how out of that time spent together they became a better man and a better coach and a better person, a better father than they did learn anything about X's and O's. So he spent a lot of his time developing people around him to be better people. And I know that he spent a lot of time post-retirement from football speaking, sharing his testimony. I saw a picture David Basil with the Little Rock Touchdown Club had posted when Coach Bowden came and spoke in Little Rock. I think that was 2010, if I remember right, on the date on that caption and that photo. So somewhere in every nook and cranny of college football, there is a connection. There is someone that either coached with or heard him speak or has been to a clinic or has some kind of connection to one of the legends of the game.
I just think about how many, as you just brought up, the players that came out and spoke to just what he affected in their lives, both on and off the field. I mean, there are some big-time players that have come through that university and that campus and played football for Coach Bowden. I mean, you think about primetime Deion Sanders, whose birthday is actually today, if I remember that right. Yeah, Myron Roll. I mean, the national championship list over and over and over again with those guys that have just not just resumes that they built up in college, but in the professional level as well. And one of the things that Dr. Roll now talked about is just the push that Coach Bowden had for his team and his players off the field, how important education was to him and to make sure his players, because, I mean, you think about just like college football, it's not always the education, it's not always on the forefront, it's not always the priority, but that was a big talking point and a big part of Coach Bowden's resume is making sure his guys graduated and went and have success after football. Let's welcome in Tom Murphy into the program this morning as we shift the conversation back to Razorback football. Tom, practice observations. You got a lot of them, got a chance to see 3 practices, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, if I remember that correctly. What were some of your big takeaways, not only just watching and observing, but talking with the coaches and players afterwards?
Well, we just have to try to make the most out of what we see, which is a limited window, and we've been watching a lot of the one-on-one between receivers and DBs, a little bit of running stuff, but as the coaches are very fond at pointing out, until you put the pads on, you don't know a whole lot. And as Sam Pittman himself said, they're running around in underwear out there. So it's a necessary part, the build-up to having full pads on and, you know, helping the freshmen understand what practice tempo is like, that kind of stuff. But we've seen some I think the receivers, 2 of the last 3 days, the receivers have kind of had the upper hand in the short viewing window we've seen. Mm-hmm. Kendall Catalon stands out. Bryce Stevens' speed. I mean, he's getting past the DBs pretty nicely. As I mentioned, Kendall Catalon caught an over the shoulder pass yesterday for a touchdown, and I think that was against Hudson Clark. And I wrote about this today, but Buster Brown, he broke up both of the passes that he was covering yesterday. So you like to see that from your top corner. But it's just good competition, and I know all the teams do it, but it's just a good way to make every rep meaningful. You know, you beat somebody, or you get beaten, or it's a, you know, or maybe it's a badly thrown ball or something. But I think it helps the team, and that's what we've been watching, and looking forward to Thursday when the pads go on.
I think everyone is. Tom, with the quarterback competition, we all know KJ Jefferson is going to be the starter come September the 4th, assuming there's no injury or anything. And Coach Pittman also touched on the backup, and that's something Tommy and I have discussed this morning. Is you're not necessarily wondering about the starters this upcoming fall, but the backups and who's going to fill that 3 slot.
Yeah.
Any indication, any change in Malik Hornsby not being in that solidified number 2?
Well, it's well too early to say that. We have seen some deep balls. I mean, Lucas Kohler's got a great presence about him. Cade Renfro has dropped some beautiful deep balls in on some guys. The question you have is, you know, how well prepared are they to run the offense? Can they do the run? Can they be a threat in the run pass? That kind of thing. And I think Malik Hornsby's probably feeling a little bit of the pressure after the spring game. He didn't throw a pick, but he threw 3 balls that in some circumstances could have been picked off. And in any game, if you have 3 picks, that's a bad game. So we know he's fast. We know that his accuracy needs to improve. And, you know, we'll see how that plays out as camp goes on. And we're not going to see a whole lot of the team stuff, so we're going to have to rely on what the coaches tell us and various folks who observe practice, how that filters through.
Tom, since we can't see a lot other than the eye test, let's just see what your eyes are seeing. We saw Jalen Catalon and Treylon Burks physically look different in their time in the media on Thursday. When you're able to observe the rest of the team out there, are you noticing visibly a difference physically with this team across the board, or were those just 2 exceptions to the rule? What does this team physically look like without shoulder pads and only in helmets right now, what you've seen through the first few days in their physical development in the offseason?
Right. I think those guys are part of the whole, and I see Sam Pittman was not fibbing when he came in and said we're a more physical team, we're a bigger team. And you look at the D linemen, I mean, Isaiah Nichols has put on weight, Eric Gregory's bigger, a bunch of guys. I mean, O-line, there's some O-linemen who look, you know, bigger and just thicker, and KJ Jefferson looked a little thicker. And by his own admission, needs to drop about 10 or 12 pounds. And I feel certain that, you know, the dietitians, nutritionists, and camp regimen will help him do that. You want to be as sturdy as possible at quarterback if you're going to run, but you also want to be, you know, somewhat nimble. So we'll see how that plays out. But yeah, I think Sam Pittman, obviously understanding what the top level of SEC football looks like, knows that his O-linemen and the D-linemen just have to be bigger to withstand. I mean, they love Marcus Henderson, but unbelievable, Marcus Henderson's had trouble staying up to around 300 pounds, and I think he's in the high 280s right now. They love his feet. They think he might be able to push it at right tackle, but they want to get him a little bit bigger. But, yeah, I'd say across the board, I mean, you look at, you know, Treylon Burks looked more cut. Bumper Pool looked bigger the other day. So it's an across-the-board deal.
Yeah. I mean, you hear coaches say it all the time that, hey, we've made great gains, but I wanted to see what your eyes were seeing. Did you get a chance to watch the running back group at all during your time there?
I haven't seen them on the inside drill so much. I've been over on the offensive side, and I have seen their individual stuff.
Okay, so
and it's a big. I'm sorry, Tommy.
Well, I just wanted to ask you about the number 2, because I think we all know about Treylon Smith going to be the starter, but Sam talked about that on Thursday. Is hey, one of the big things in this camp is identifying who the number 2 is, and I think as wide open as anything in this camp, Tom, is who the number 2 and the number 3 running backs are going to be for this team. So just as you look at these guys, again, with no shoulder pads and the very outset of camp, what are you seeing in that line of guys, vying for the understudy to Treylon Smith?
absolutely one of the most watched position battles. And I wrote about this on Sunday that when you bring back 19 starters, the two positions end up having great battles. Now, at offensive guard, I think there's a battle at one. I think the Brady Latham and Luke Jones contest is probably go right up to the opener. They've been trading back and forth who's been working with the ones the most. But running back is fascinating because you see that there's, high end or usage, good usage out of like any of them. Like TJ Hammond, the LSU game had two huge plays, and we know with his speed and open field skills, he's a threat. Now he's been doing a little bit more receiver lately, but I think guys like AJ Green and Rocket Sanders, Javion Hunt, they love Josh Ogilvy's speed. All these guys are vying for more playing time behind Traylon Smith. So that's going to be fascinating. And, there's going to be guys who aren't happy. I mean, there's going to be guys who don't travel probably to road games out of a group of guys who are come in well regarded. And we know that you just cannot get through a season running one or two guys. So they're going to have to go 3, maybe 4 deep, and they have to keep the guys' heads in the game who don't wind up in the top 3.
Tom Murphy with us here on the Morning Rush. Tom, how much of a transition is it going from helmets and shoulder pads to full pads this Thursday as a guy that's been covering this college football sport for quite some time?
Well, the way Arkansas practices under Sam Pittman, it's not a huge one because they do some physical stuff. I mean, even with the spider pads on, and then they've graduated to shoulder pads, the O lineman and D lineman, I mean, they match up. They have clashes and stuff. They're not tackling to the ground, but there's physicality about the practice. Now, there'll be tackle to the ground periods starting Thursday, and obviously the full pads. So, I mean, it is a transition, but they've worked themselves, gradually into that point where it's not a huge, big jump. And Rocket Sanders, I talked to him this summer, and he thought one of the biggest differences going from high school to college was that even when you're just doing spider pads and, helmets and shoulder pads and stuff, that there's still the clacking the pads and there's still kind of a physicality to it that surprised him a little bit.
Outside of Arkansas football that you've seen as of late, you did have some Hall of Fame stuff that occurred over the weekend, not just with former Razorbacks, but other people. We had Jimmy Johnson, Steve Atwater, I know Cliff Harris is a Razorback, and some others. Tom, any big takeaways from the Hall of Fame inductions and speeches that you got a chance to maybe watch over the weekend?
I just saw clips of it on social media, so I'm not aware of, if there were any, outstanding moments. But count me in as a big Steve Atwater fan. I obviously wasn't covering the Razorbacks when he played, but watched him on TV and was fond of just his style. And the commentary about him as a guy who changed the game as a big, hard-hitting safety, the silent assassin. He graciously let me interview him when the Razorbacks went out and played at Colorado State as in his position with the Broncos out there. And then again when we did a series on the best Razorbacks in the pros where he wound up number 3, I believe, behind Lance Allworth and Van Hampton. But just a phenomenal dude. Very happy for him going in. And then Jimmy Johnson, when you see the resume all over again, two Super Bowl wins, defensive coordinator here with the Razorbacks, won a national championship with Miami, really kind of opened the door for letting the players be, more expressive and on the field. There was a lot of old school coaches who did not like that, but he was successful doing it. And obviously it's kind of been a trendsetter that's very alive today with NIL. So two cool Arkansas connections with those guys going in.
Yeah, it makes you wonder with Jimmy Johnson what took so long for him to get in the Hall of Fame with his resume, the 2 Super Bowls, all of the, as he recounted through his remarks, all of the Hall of Fame players, the 13, and then he listed a couple of more that probably should be there. All of the players that he coached that are there, it just makes you wonder Why in the world did it take Jimmy Johnson until he was 78 years old and been out of football so long, and broadcaster Hall of Fame, college football Hall of Fame? How in the world did it take so long to get to the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Tom?
Yeah, that's a great point, and I do not know the answer to it other than some powerful person. I don't understand. But I'll say this: Chris Mortensen had a good tweet that Jimmy Johnson evaluated himself maybe as more of a team builder, an architect, as a head coach, and I get that. The work he did to make the Cowboys roster go from 1-15 to a Super Bowl champion in just, I think it was 3 years, was, you cannot underrate how difficult and that was, and how precise you had to be, and not making many mistakes to build up a roster of Emmitt Smiths and Michael Irvins and Troy Aikmans and all the defensive guys they got. It was a master job of architecture.
Tom, appreciate the time, buddy. Troy Aikman reflected on what you just did as well. Thought that was a fascinating discussion, how he could transform a team in just 3 years. Tom, we appreciate it, buddy. We'll talk more practice coming up on Thursday, okay?
Yeah, sounds outstanding. Have a good one.
Good stuff from Tom Murphy as always. He'll join us again for another practice, and now I say practices update come Thursday.
All right, Hot Take Mondays brought to you by Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. The best brands at the best prices like Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, and Alliance. And when you buy a brand new RV from Wheels RV, you get a lifetime warranty that gives you the peace of mind when you leave Wheels knowing you're going to get the kind of service you expect from Wheels. That's 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Wheels RV. Seek, explore, and discover with Wheels RV.
Talk some more Arkansas football coming up in your Hog Update. Now, we did reference the Hall of Fame. Drew, you know what this clip is. Tommy, see if you can figure out what's being said during this clip. Hot mic, ESPN. Listen again.
I can't hear it clear enough. Nope.
Can't do it. A hot mic. It was ESPN, right? That's what the network that had the
it was on ESPN.
Okay. The audio of that says, and I don't know who it was, no one knows who it was, is "Let's go smoke joints in the parking lot." That was picked up from the Hall of Fame speech. I'm assuming that some ESPN executives were not too happy about that. But it's
Play
really,
it again. Let's see if we can pick it up now. Oh, and now you
let's go
clearly
smoke
hear it.
joints in the parking lot. Oh, man. What a time to be alive. So I heard that, and I was like, that no way that's it. And I listened to it again, and I listened again. And
Until someone tell you did it. No, you're not thinking that until someone. Oh, okay, now I hear it.
Now
it's perfectly in focus.
Now I hear it. So that's pretty wild stuff. But it was just, again, cool to see the Hall of Fame
like one
stuff.
of them old records from the 80s where you play it backwards and you get a satanic message. Well, I mean, you just got to slow it down enough to. Oh, now I hear it.
I think about that 70s Show episode, and where I think it's Fez that's listening to the records forwards or backwards, and his foster parents or his adopted parents, whatever, were just amazed at that it sounded good, and then you do the opposite. That's what it sounded like. So that's been quite some time since I've watched that episode. But we got your Hog stuff coming up here on the Morning Rush. Got some more practice things that we're going to get into. I saw that Traylon Burks said he is 100% confident in KJ Jefferson. And again, we spoke to it earlier this morning. Tom referenced it.
It would be news if he said anything else, right?
So I don't know how much. I'm really curious to see what he looks. I'm not really worried what he looks like against Rice. I want to see what he does under the bright lights against Texas.
See, I am worried what he looks like against Rice, because if you don't look at least somewhat dominant against Rice, this team as a whole, if you don't win by at least 3 touchdowns, aren't you concerned about how you're going to compete against Texas? I mean, I don't think you can limp. Well, I don't think you can limp around and barely scrape by against Rice and expect to stay on the field the next week against Texas.
There is nothing that barring a loss, there is nothing that I will watch in week number 1 when they take on Rice that will convince me otherwise that they won't put together a performance against Texas. Now, I don't think they're going to beat the Longhorns, but I think that game's going to be close. There's nothing barring a loss that is going to convince me otherwise that they're not going to have a good showing against Texas.
Well, I think I hope to see them far more. I'm not.
Oh, I'm with you.
I'm not ready to sit here and win by a field goal and say, well, I feel good about the game the next week. That's for sure. All right, more to do, including your hog update. We're brought to you by Gaston's White River Resort, one of our favorite places right here in our own backyard. So if you got a few days here before the kids go back to school in a week and you're looking for a place to get away for a few days, hey, call Gaston, see what's available. They have 80 cabins and lodges. Or, hey, maybe once the kids go back to school, you're looking for a place for Labor Day weekend or a fall getaway in October. October is a wonderful month to fish on the White River. And after a lot of people get back into their routines, a lot of the pressure on the fishing and a lot of the folks are out of there, it's a good time to get away. So if you're thinking about some fall getaways or maybe a last-minute getaway here right before school, call 870-431-5202. Book you one of their experienced guides, get one of those private cabins, and really enjoy it at Gaston's. Gaston's White River Resort, a first-class time every time.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is growing and looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building experience or you have welding skills, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay, health, dental, and vision benefits. Join the top fence building team in the state. The Fence Man. Apply today in person. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
Loading the kids in the car, brokering peace in the back seat, mastering the snack handoff without even looking. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with auto owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. We work with independent agents who keep insurance simple, so you can worry about more important things, like figuring out what's growing in that cup holder. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler & Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler & Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
In the mood for a top shelf night? 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge has your number. Sit back, relax, and enjoy select wines, top shelf spirits, and handcrafted cocktails in a rich, comfortable, sanitized setting with state-of-the-art air filtration. Indulge in one of our delicious appetizers, sandwiches, salads, or specialty items for carry-out or dine-in. Open Tuesday through Saturday. Stop by 906 Garrison Avenue in Fort Smith. 906 Cocktail and Cigar Lounge, defining nightlife in downtown Fort Smith.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house? All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
In sports, if you think joy only happens after you win, think again. Look at the world's most successful athletes like Serena Williams, Brooks Koepka, and Alex Morgan. They don't spend all their days grinding away. They take time to enjoy themselves, like getting together with friends over a Michelob Ultra, because they know that happiness is the key to winning, and that joy is the whole game, not just the end game. Michelob Ultra. 95 calories, 2.6 grams of carbs. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. AB Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Do you own apartment complexes, condos, and rental property? Then you have made a great investment. Now make another great decision by calling Trinity Multifamily to help you maximize your return. Trinity Multifamily offers full-service property management, marketing, leasing, sales, and all the services to make your cash flow. Take the hassles and frustrations out of ownership and call Trinity Multifamily at 479-452-1817 or online at trinitymultifamily.com. Trinity Multifamily, your teammate in the real estate game.
Locally owned Lumber One can handle all of your building needs. They've built their business on having great relationships with everybody from contractors and builders to the everyday build-it-yourself. Lumber One has a full-line door shop to handle all of your door, window, and trim needs. And along with lumber, roofing and drywall products, attic wall and floor insulation is available. Lumber One also does blueprint takeoff with access to design services with estimates available. So go where the pros go. Lumber One, located on Industrial Park Road in Van Buren.
Hi folks, Larry Rath here for Rath Auto Resources. Has the summer heat got you down? Got the back-to-school blues? Well, keep your cool, because I've got a deal to turn that rising mercury into sizzling savings for you. Just choose from a red-hot selection of Rath road-ready vehicles, each one hand-picked and inspected in our Meineke Car Care Center, and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. That discount can go a long ways towards helping you get the nicer, newer car, truck, or SUV you've been wanting at a price and payment you can afford. If you're not ready to trade, let us take care of the car you have in our Meineke Car Care Center with half-off brakes and buy 3 get 1 free on all tires. Better yet, click, call, or come by today and start driving better in a Rath road-ready vehicle and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. But don't wait. A smoking deal like this can't last forever and absolutely ends August 31st. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
ESPN 95.3.
Arkansas football. It's the players running through the A. Hog hats. It's more than 70,000 fans calling Woo Pig Suey.
Oh, yes, sir.
Guys, I've got just one thing I want to say to you. Touchdown, Arkansas!
Arkansas wins the national championship! The Arkansas Razorbacks have completed the dream season!
This is your Hog Update on the Morning Rush. Brought to you by Mr. Sparky. Need a licensed electrician to service your home? For one of their local pros, call 888-8-SPARKY.
A lot of hog news to get into your hog update. We have to discuss this morning. Hunter Henry was a couple of the players in the Patriots camp on Sunday that got injured in Foxborough. Looked like an upper body injury, and he left practice and did not return with the trainers. That's from 98.5, the Sports Hub up there. Hopefully we'll get some updates on the former Razorback, and he's just, unfortunately for Hunter, has had an injury-plagued career at the NFL level, because I don't remember him being that injured while he was in school, but we know how much more physical. We were talking about physicality picking up in Razorback practice. We know the level of physicality that is the transition from the college to the professional level.
And that's such a big part of it's just staying healthy. Particularly, he's had the benefit of being a higher draft choice, early in his career, but you become a later round draft selection or undrafted free agent. Those injuries can be a career ender. So staying healthy is it's critical to the longevity of your career. I mean, that goes without saying, but 2 or 3 of these, and you're beginning to wonder how much longer will these things, how much longer does your career last?
Yeah.
So
Texas game, I know we're 26 days out from the Rice game. That makes it 33 days out from the Texas game. Had several of my friends and Morning Rush listeners that were asking me about tickets and going to that football game. And this upcoming season, you think about just the importance of having it back. We heard Eddie in Clarksville in hour number 1, how he's been looking forward to this game. It's been 17 years since you've had Texas come in to Donald W. Reynolds Razorback Stadium. I text Robert Mann this, our friend over at the stadium shop last night. He's already bought his Tusk, Texas shirt. And I'm asking, I got to make sure I say this right.
Yeah, slow down. I know where you're going.
I'm asking him if he's going to get the Tuck Texas shirts.
Yeah.
I'll make sure I say that right.
Slow
sure I
down.
say that really good, because I will be wearing that. I've got my big old Longhorn that's facing upside down in the bathroom, and I'm going to bring that as a prop all week long. I need some apparel to go with it as well, because I got the pin that's got the Longhorns down on it. So I want to make sure I'm geared up and ready for that, because, I mean, this is what, the biggest game you've had in Donald W. in 10 years? Since Bama 2010? Is it 11 years? I guess it's 2021. Anyone want to argue that?
Oh, just for the sake of argument, you played Florida here and you won that game. That was
clobbered them. It was in 2016.
Yeah, most surprising thing ever, right? Bielema, things hadn't went well. Got killed by Auburn, then had, was it a bye week, and then beat Florida, if I remember right. But you just gotten clobbered. What was it, 56-3 or something like that by Auburn, and then you beat Florida.
Santos Ramirez had a pick 6 within, I think, the first 3 plays of the football game.
I might argue that just for the sake of – I mean, I understand that the hype and all that, but you might argue that game would be up there just because of it's Florida.
Okay.
But no, I get what you're saying. I mean, it's a huge game, ton of hype. It's Texas.
Leading into the next point, there are rumors that College Game Day might be headed to Fayetteville. Now, you think it's going to be Air Force, Navy on
the 20th remembrance of 9/11, the patriotism that day, two of your service academies playing each other. I think that's going to be enticing to ESPN.
This is from ESPN. College Game Day locations, so text PR over there, are determined by week, taking into consideration a bunch of things, matchup storylines. Week 2 has not been determined just yet. They typically do that pretty recently. Now, Lee Fitting was the longtime College Game Day producer. It's now Jim Guerrero. Hopefully we'll get Kurt Herbstreit on this week. He's got a new book that's either coming out or has come out. We'll get a chance to talk with him, hopefully, and ask him about the prospect of coming back to Fayetteville, the longest drought in the SEC. Now, Paul in Midway text in, guys. He says, I don't think you listen to the show on Thursday or Friday, but Tommy has given you full control over the College Game Day on the 11th of September. He has talked about how you will be doing whatever you need to for that game and not doing the work you're supposed to be doing. That they're all set and ready for that to happen, so don't let them convince you any different. Go back and listen to the shows Thursdays and Friday, and you'll see that I'm telling the truth.
If you go back and listen, you will hear him say that Ty will try to do everything that he can to do his job up there. Try was the key word. He never said he would let you.
Right.
Well, the good thing about me is I'm talented and hardworking enough where I can do
See,
both.
it's exactly what
the brand is back, isn't it?
We 1,000% prediction on this. We knew exactly where this conversation was going.
Sorry to take
such a disconnect from reality. So.
Do you know who sings this? I know you do. Can you tell me who sings this?
This is Garth Brooks.
Close.
No, George Strait. This is George Strait, right?
Eminem. Close enough. Close enough.
Garth was in Kansas City over the weekend.
Was he?
I should have went.
So I put on some pounds this past week on vacation. Apparently, KJ Jefferson has put on some pounds this summer. He's at 247, which is apparently the biggest deal to Razorback football fans, that your quarterback is not 235 or below. And what you said, I thought, illustrated the point earlier pretty perfectly. The fact that if he hadn't said that he needed to lose weight, I don't think Arkansas fans would be up in arms that, oh my gosh, our starting quarterback has to lose weight. But because he said, I like to lose and get down to 230, 235, 12 to 17 pounds, people are like, oh my gosh.
Yeah, he went. See,
what's he been doing this summer?
You weren't here. He went out Friday in the post game practice, and he said, "Do these football pants make my butt look fat?" I mean, that's how this whole thing started. I mean,
now what's the correct answer if your wife or girlfriend or fiance asks you that? You always say,
"No, they're perfect."
KJ,
they're perfect. I mean, that's how this whole thing got started.
He asked Coach Bryles that, and Coach was like, "No, KJ, you look good."
Perfect. I mean, it's just, you can find the perfect balance of. I mean, he's 6'3". If he was 6, because it seemed like Mallett played up in the 240s, and you've had some taller quarterbacks play at that height. I mean, there's a balance between durability and optimal speed, and I don't know what the right number is. He's 6'3". If he was 3 inches taller, you wouldn't even think of anything about 240 something. Clay had him listed in the post-spring depth chart at 236, but he'd probably like him to be a 235. Is he just as durable at 235 as he is at 245? Probably. I don't know. I mean, I can't answer that question. Question is, if you're going to run a bunch of RPO plays and you want to get free for that extra first down and maybe a touchdown, that 10 pounds will matter.
Considering that the U of A athletics department pays more for their food than any other college football department in the country, if I remember that correctly, I hope that whatever they're whipping up there in the Jerry Jones and excuse me, what's Jerry's wife's name? Janine.
Yeah.
Janine. Jerry and Janine's Jones tutor family, whatever you want to call it, center, that they're whipping up some healthy stuff for your starting quarterback.
Well, I mean, they got different menus for people that need to, different color cards or however they do it, for the guys that need to put on weight, the guys that need to trim weight, guys that need to stay the same. So, I mean, listen, 25 practices that they're already underway with will take the weight off of you. I mean, young. I mean, you're always bragging about your young metabolism. He's younger than you,
That's
so
going to go away eventually.
His metabolism will take care of this. I'm not too concerned about it.
All right, some other Hog news as we keep it going this morning. You have Steve Atwater and Jimmy Johnson that's inducted in the Hall of Fame. They had some good speeches. I encourage you to go back and listen to that. The fourth and fifth former Razorback players to be inducted into the NFL Hall of Fame. You also had Cliff Harris, former Ouachita Baptist standout, and I was unaware because I've never been to Ouachita. The stadium's named after Cliff Harris. We were talking in the break. Really want to go. What's it called? Henderson State.
The Battle of the Ravine.
The Battle of the Ravine. They walk across campus either to Henderson State or to Ouachita Baptist. And I have friends that went to both schools, so at some point in time I need to make our way back. But we have Arkansas football. It's really hard to get away during football season.
You want to be on a bye weekend,
Yeah.
so that's one of the great Division II games in the country.
Yep.
So.
All right, coming up in the program, Devion Warren has been a topic on a lot of people's mind. The impact he can have in that wide receiver 2 position. Him, Trey Knox, who's going to have a better impact coming up.
All right, that's your Hog Update, and it's brought to you by Mr. Sparky in Northwest Arkansas.
Still a lot to get to in hour number 3 of the Morning Rush. We have a wide open hour, so if you want to call or text, you got football on your mind, feel free. 877-377-6963. Good to be back on the Morning Rush.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
It's time to say goodbye to contacts, glasses, or bifocals with LASIK or clear lens exchange by Volvision in Northwest Arkansas. Mention ESPN for $500 off your LASIK or clear lens exchange procedure. A quick 15-minute procedure, easy 24-hour recovery no matter your age. Freedom from contacts and glasses is an option for you. Volvision, the official eye care providers of the Arkansas Razorbacks. Go Hogs! Discount cannot be combined with other offers or discounts.
Standard Materials Group has immediate openings for ready-mix drivers in the Northwest Arkansas area. If you have a CDL license without an automatic restriction and want to be home every night, want to work with a company that offers great pay, benefits, and a great team environment with growth opportunities, apply today at jobs.crh.com. Again, that's jobs.crh.com. Standard Materials Group is an equal opportunity employer. The Fence Man, the company you can trust when it comes to building quality fencing and gates, is growing and looking for quality people to join the Fence Man team. If you are a fence builder or have building experience or you have welding skills, apply in person at 1213 North 32nd Street in Fort Smith. The Fence Man offers great pay, health, dental, and vision benefits. Join the top fence building team in the state. The Fence Man. Apply today in person. The Fence Man is an equal opportunity employer.
It is officially open. Wave Rural Connect for Arkansas Valley Electric Cooperative members north of Ozark, including Cass, Paradise, Batson, and others. To sign up, call 1-833-4WAVE-RC or go online at signup.waveruralconnect.com. Fiber internet starting at $49.95 a month. TV $32.95 and phone $29.95. It's what you've been waiting for and more. Trust me, we love it. Arkansas Valley Electric and Wave Rural Connect, changing the communities we serve.
Wake up your happy at Hardee's with the new $3 French toast dips. Wait, what? French toast dips sprinkled with powdered sugar and served with a side of syrup. Sugary, syrupy, dippable. Sweeten up your morning at Hardee's. Try the new $3 French toast dips at Hardee's. The sweet one on the 2-3 more breakfast menu. Feed your happy. Available during regular breakfast hours at participating Hardee's restaurants. Tax not included. Price and participation may vary.
During the month of August, Frank Rowe Furniture is having a store-wide super sale. That's huge savings for everyone. Savings on furniture, mattresses, dining sets, and appliances. Frank Rowe Furniture is also offering discounts on cash and finance through Snap Financing. Only $39 down. You heard right, $39 down. Family-owned and serviced after the sale. Frank Rowe Furniture, 405 4th Street, Barling, Arkansas. Best seats in the house.
The bloodline of any modern business is their computer network, data storage, and supporting hardware. So who takes care of one of the most important aspects of your business? Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren can handle all your networking services like cabling, firewall, routers, and VPNs to hardware and software protection from virus and malware. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren, 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag technology without the headache.
Whether it's a game day, a holiday, office function, or your family lunch or dinner, Whole Hog Cafe Fort Smith is ready to serve you their award-winning barbecue and sides. Dine in or call either of the Whole Hog Fort Smith locations, Borough Road or Phoenix Avenue, or go online to wholehogfortsmith.com and check out their buddy packs and party packs. Both Whole Hog locations are currently open 11 till 6, Tuesday through Saturday. Experience award-winning barbecue and sides at Whole Hog Cafe today.
Family first. My dad used to tell us that all the time. But family first wasn't just something he'd say to us. It was how he lived every day of his life. And it's how I try to live mine too.
At Shelter Insurance, our agents are dedicated to helping provide personalized auto, home, and life protection that puts your family first.
Ask Shelter agents Ted McAvoy or Jeff Clark about a free insurance review.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN Arkansas weather.
For today, sunny skies are high this afternoon into the lower 90s. A mainly clear sky in place tonight. We drop down low 70s. Tuesday, sunny skies are high firmly in the mid 90s, mid to upper 90s on Wednesday. I'm Sally Russell with your forecast on ESPN Arkansas.
Check out the Fish City Grill Ruskin and Zach podcast on hitthatline.com or search Hit That Line wherever you listen to podcasts. You're listening to The Morning Rush live from the Bushlight Studios on ESPN 95.3 KERX Paris Fort Smith. This hour of The Morning Rush is brought to you by The Fenceman. For custom-built fences, gates, and controlled access systems, call The Fenceman at 479-782-3936. The Fenceman. He ain't afraid of no work.
I want y'all to understand, we got talent. Some teams don't have talent. We got talent, man. Do we have the mindset, the mental work ethic to use what we have talent-wise? I believe y'all believe in us, and I know we sure as hell believe in you. I believe that with all my heart. I'd be so disappointed if it wasn't true. So I believe that you're going to do whatever we ask you because you believe in us, that when we go in that stadium, look, all we want to see you guys do is win. That's all we want. We want success for you.
Hey, this is Darren McFadden, and you're listening to The Morning Rush.
Live from the Bushlight Studios.
People who really want to have a good time won't come to a slaughterhouse. And we've got entirely too many troublemakers here.
On your favorite Arkansas sports talk station.
I don't like you because you're dangerous. That's right. I am dangerous.
Streaming live from
hitthatline.com.
I hit the 7-iron like John Daly hits the 3.
This is The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson.
You just gotta keep living, man.
And Tommy Kraft.
We follow orders or people die. Are we clear?
The Morning Rush starts right now.
Yes, sir.
So it's a Hot Take Monday here on The Morning Rush, and it is not a hot take. It's a very cold, frozen take that Traylon Burks is not just one of the best wide receivers in the SEC, but the best in college football. I want to go over some stuff real quick, not just on him, but that other group in that locker room and what they can bring to the table for this Arkansas offense in 2021.
It is a Hot Take Monday, and it is brought to you by Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. The best brands, always the best prices, and peace of mind with a lifetime warranty on every new RV they sell. Plus, they have a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping as well. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was once again voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. That's Wheels RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
So Traylon Burks, according to Pro Football Focus, has the highest passer rating when he's targeted on 20-plus yard throws of all wide receivers coming back to college football. The Athletic has named him to one of their freaks. I think it was Bruce Feldman that talked about his bench press. He calls them mitts, talking about Traylon Burks' hands, considering how he catches punts, how he catches the football. They just suck into him over 10 inches across. He just sucks in a football when he gets thrown to him. But I want to know, we know about Burks, right?
Right.
We're easy about that. What about the other guys that are going to hopefully alleviate some of the pressure faced on him in 2021. Here's Sam Pittman on Devion Warren, because I know a lot of people wondering, hey, Coach, he's coming off an ACL injury. How's he doing? Well, here's Coach on Devion.
He fell down a few times and he got up, so that was a good sign. Now, he's a hard-working kid, loves Arkansas, and he's a leader. Thought he looked well. Obviously, he's got the brace on. I don't know if there'll be a point in time where we can get that off of him, but I think the knee, he had full clearance to go out there, and we shortened his reps by a few, probably not as many as we thought we probably would need to, but I think he's in pretty good shape with that knee.
In your opinion, who was the better wide receiver last year? Was it Mike Woods or was it Devion Warren?
It's close. Probably Mike Woods in total.
Because he got to play a full season.
Got to play a full season, probably had more impact. But I'm going to tell you, Devion Warren came in and had some big plays that counted. So, would you like to have both of those guys here? Would you would you like for Mike Woods not to have went to Oklahoma? Absolutely, but I've got a lot of faith that Devion Warren, if he can be healthy. Now, that knee brace being on, you want that off, because I can't imagine a guy's as fast with a brace on versus brace off. But I understand why you want it on for protection right now. Some schools put all their linemen in braces, offensive linemen, the whole season just for protection. So, I can't imagine him being faster with that on. So once they get that off of him, he's a threat. He's a long ball threat.
I want to know with some of the other guys in that locker room, like a Trey Knox, like a Jaquaylin Crawford, like a John David White, who I was made aware of this past week that his nickname is Jay Diesel. I did not know that until
saw that
this past week. I was texting his dad, David White, just kind of about that. I want to know what guys in that wide receiver rotation can solidify and really just be that, because I think Devion's probably going to be that number 2. And I want to know if Trey can give Devion a run for his money in that number. And I'm not talking about the actual position of what they're playing. I'm talking about like who's the number 2 wide receiver guy. Is it clearly Devion Warren if he comes back at least healthy enough to have an impact, or is it someone else in that locker room? Here's KJ Jefferson on his wide receivers and who he's going to be throwing the football to this fall.
Like you said today, Devion Warren showed up big time today. Trey Knox also made some good plays today. Tight ends Blake Curran made some great plays. Traylon Smith also made some plays out the backfield, running the ball and catching the ball also. So I feel like as a collective unit, as an offense, the whole 9 yards, I feel like everybody really good.
What do we get out of Hudson Henry this season as well? And again, we're getting like a I'm trying to is the reference Chris Rock made in Longest Yard. Remember he said, we didn't get the whole chocolate bar. We just got a Hershey's Kiss. You're getting a glimmer, a little taste of Arkansas football as practice has begun. And even in pads, you're getting a little more, but you're still not getting the full oomph until that Rice game kicks off in 26 days. And even after the Rice game, we're not going to know who that number 2 wide receiver is going to be.
And KJ brings up the tight end. You touched on it there with Hudson Henry, and KJ brings up Blake Curran. Clay spent a good few minutes on Friday talking about the depth at tight end. And, all right, Hudson Henry, Blake Curran, and then what? You don't have much depth at all at tight end, and that's got to be developed Clay, in his post-spring depth chart, has Nathan Bax at the number 3. You'd like to put 2 tight ends on the field at times.
Because Outley's injured, right?
Depth, yeah, and then Aaron Outley, from Little Rock Parkview. You'd like to develop more depth at tight end because you really it's one of the thinner spots. It's kind of like linebacker. It's a spot where Arkansas has had some depth in the past, but got to find some other guys to play there as well if you really want to have that weapon in your arsenal this year and to not be changing personnel groups and limiting what Kendall Briles can call.
Arkansas's had the luxury of having some really quality running backs. You think of Darren McFadden, Felix Jones, Alex Collins, Jonathan Williams, wide receivers, Jarius Wright, Joe Adams, Greg Childs, Kobe Hamilton. I mean, you've had some really quality guys the last decade or so. And then you also look at the tight end position, 2 Mackey Award winners and Hunter Henry and DJ Williams. And by the way, Hunter went down with an injury yesterday at training camp in Foxborough. Hopefully he's okay. I know he's had to deal with a few of those, but you've had that kind of in your back pocket. Even guys like Jeremy Sprinkle, you brought up Joe Dean Davenport. You've always just had that really rock solid guy.
And a lot of them at tight end have been Arkansas guys.
Boys. Yeah, Arkansas.
Greg.
Homegrown boys. Yeah, which is not to say it's any better. I don't care if you're from Timbuktu and Florida or California or if you're from Arkansas. I just like you'd be good and win football games. But I think that position, especially in Kendall Briles, you'd like to be able to just have that really rock solid guy. And I don't know if you necessarily had that. I know that Hudson's been named to the Mackey Award watch list. I don't know how much of that is to do with his brother winning the award, how much of that people think he can really expand his game in year number 3. I just know that, as you mentioned, the depth there, if one of those 2 individuals go down for a duration of time, it's going to be tough on that offense.
Yeah, I mean, and it takes away a lot of probably all your ability to play 2 tight ends, and it's just you got to find another player to get someone healthy and get some of these younger guys brought along because there is very limited depth at tight end starting camp right now.
So I watched Sam Pittman's interview. I watched KJ Jefferson's interview. I listened to a little bit of Coach Guyton. I think it was Coach Carter that I listened to as well. You had Trey Knox. Who else spoke? I think Devion spoke.
You had wide receivers on Saturday, and then you had corners speak on Sunday.
Burks and Catalan spoke like early this past week.
That was on Thursday.
Yeah, so that was with Pittman as well. So you've had a good chunk you can find on hitthatline.com, our YouTube channel as well. And
KJ was Friday after that practice. So
yeah, and I know that. Have you seen the meme that people have made of KJ? Do you know what a meme is?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen the meme of what people have made of KJ?
I have not seen that.
For whatever reason, Arkansas fans love, and they'll do this with any football or basketball player. Like there was one of Ben Hicks that they made. They put like a hat on him. They put a cigarette in his mouth. They did this with Hicks, and we know it was Big Blank Hicks, but they did it with Hicks, and I can't remember what his tagline was, but the tagline for KJ was double coverage, triple coverage, AT&T, nationwide coverage. It don't matter. Hogs by what?
90.
Hogs by 90. Like it's just like the stuff like that. But I think I was kind of bummed a little bit. And I don't know if it's just his demeanor. I don't know if it just how hadn't done an interview. KJ didn't seem too enthralled to be in that interview.
I did see some people, and this is probably old man take. There were some people that wish he'd have maybe dressed for the occasion a little more if you're going to be at the podium as the starting quarterback, and he wore
a wife beater,
a muscle shirt. I was going to class it up a little bit, call it just an undershirt, but that's what he wore a white undershirt to the interview, and I don't know if that was why the behind the scenes. I don't know if you're the starting quarterback. Is there a certain dress code you should aspire to in a press conference situation? We'll see if he gets coached up on that. I don't know. Well, the next time he addresses the media or he talks to the media, we'll see what he looks like then. But I know there was some criticism of not what he said, not how he plays. I saw a few takes on Twitter about that.
So. Do you know it's a nickname for certain alcoholic drinks? Do you know what's in that drink, the Golden Wife Beater?
I do not. I would have no clue.
Rum made from sugar cane. So. That's apparently the Golden Wife Beater is what that
well,
is.
I'm glad I learned that today.
Listen, I get the professionalism aspect, and that's, as you brought up, more
it's
of an
perception.
It's a perception. But none of you give a rat's you-know-what if he goes for 540 and 4 touchdowns and they beat Texas. You don't care what
you won't even remember it 2 weeks from now anyway, before they've even played a game. But today, in the here and now, in the present, in the immediate, it's something that, at least over the weekend, I saw more than a few people not just making a comment. I wouldn't even, it was just something people were commenting on. Were they over-the-top critical? I'm sure you saw these comments, too.
Yeah.
I mean.
But, again, this is where you and I differ a little bit. And I get it. Like, there's a different – and that was something I always messed with my daddy Joe, my grandpa, about. He wanted to be dressed nice 24/7, even in his own house, when no one was there except his wife, my grandmother. And I never understood that. And I get it, like certain galas, certain professional events, Razorback Foundation – not necessarily sports radio shows every single day. I get that, right?
Yeah.
But then he would be wearing a tucked-in polo shirt, nice shoes, and khaki pants walking around his house. And that's just a different age, different opinions on stuff and whatever. And I'm in the category of, I don't really care what you dress like. If you're successful and friendly, we're going to be cool. Mm-hmm. I don't really care. But again, I get the differences in opinions, and that's fine. But again, like you just said, no one's going to care in 4 weeks.
4 days.
4 days.
They're going to forget it because we're going to have another press conference, and it will cycle out. But, in a press conference, you could probably put a shirt on, Doesn't even have to have a collar. You could probably just put something with sleeves on.
Josefa says we're talking about practice. Practice. We need the.
No, we're talking about shirts.
We need the. He's talking about
it
the.
It doesn't bother me
quote.
So much, but I understand why there are people that have that opinion. And I didn't see one just taking him to town on it, but there were more than a few people with a comment on it.
So. 1 or 2. All right, so we'll got some more Arkansas football. We're going to get into some Bobby Bowden conversation to get to as well. It is a Hot Take Monday, and you're more than welcome to hop in here at 877-377-6963.
Brought to you by Riley Farm Dental, 5901 Riley Park Drive, Suite A. Dr. Brogan and Dr. Bo Sparkman are there to take care of their patients each and every day with a great experience, whether it's just a teeth cleaning and x-rays and your 6-month or 12-month checkup, or whether you've got a young one in the house that's ready for braces, or maybe you need an implant or cosmetics. They take care of all of that in one practice in one location. That's one of the reasons they've been voted top 3 best of the best every year since 2017. And I'm telling you, from the second you walk in the door at Riley Farm Dental, you're going to feel like part of their family. Call them at 479-226-3500. That's 226-3500, or see more at RileyFarmDental.com. That's RileyFarmDental.com.
You've talked about the presence of Traylon Smith. He was a part of the Earl Campbell Tyler Award watch list. And I think you and I agree the guy on Arkansas football most likely to win a big-time award would potentially – well, I say that. With Grant Morgan, the way he played last year, he's definitely up there. But you got Jalen Catalon being up there. You've got with a Thorpe. I think it was Grant that was listed as Nagurski. What's the linebacker one? I'm forgetting. I know Blitnikoff is wide receiver. Thorpe's secondary. Why are we forgetting? Butkus. Dick Butkus, that award. So you think he has an Arkansas connection, doesn't he? I'm not lying about that.
I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know.
Maybe not. I thought he had an Arkansas connection. So you've got these different awards lists that have come out. And you've also got the Hall of Fame that happened over the weekend. You've got Steve Atwater, Cliff Harris, Jimmy Johnson, a few Arkansas connections. I really enjoyed hearing what Peyton Manning had to say about the game of football.
When we leave this stage tonight, it is no longer about us. It is about cultivating the game that has given so much to us. It's about nurturing football to live and thrive another day, another year, decade, and another generation. It's about guaranteeing that kids everywhere can learn, bond, grow, and have fun with every flag pulled, every tackle made, every pass thrown, every run, block, sack, and touchdown scored.
Now, is Dylan playing football this fall?
Yep.
Okay.
First year he's going to play.
Is it middle school, life champs? What's he doing?
Boys Club.
Boys Club.
Fort Smith schools are transitioning to middle schools, eliminating junior high, so he'll be the first 6th grade class in middle school. They don't have, at this time, 6th grade football in middle school, so he'll play at the Boys Club. And you have the option of flag football or real football, and he wants nothing to do with flag football.
Oh, I thought you were going to say nothing to do with real.
No.
So my dad had a rule that we couldn't play tackle until we were in 7th grade. I think that's right, 7th grade. So I played 7th and 8th grade, if I remember that correctly. But I know parents differ on when they want their kids to play. But I thought that was a really cool speech from Manny talking about you got Eli, you've got Cooper, you've got Fat Phil up front. I mean, you got all his posse, his crew. Yeah. He talked about Archie. I mean, just think about the Manning family. We're talking about what Bobby Bowden has meant to the legacy of football. I mean, Peyton, you got Tom Brady, who's making an appearance just to make sure he's retired and done for good, so he didn't have to play him again. I mean, there's a lot of fun that came out of this weekend, not just with the Mannings, but everyone else that was involved with the Hall of Fame speech. And I know you were really impressed with Charles Woodson last night, and just
the last one. I thought it was just very heartfelt. The way he talked about his mom, the way he spoke directly to his sons about loving their mother, the way he loved his mother. I just thought Charles Woodson's was just maybe more personal than some. They were all great. Maybe it's because it's the last one, but I thought Charles Woodson's was really, really good last night. Really good.
I was looking up some things that happened on this day. It was either in 72 or 76. You know Ted Simmons, Cardinal?
Okay.
Ted Simmons?
Yeah.
He was playing, and for all you Danny's and Russellvilles, and I don't know who else is a big Cardinal fan. I know Danny's the big one that loves to talk about his Cards on this program. For all you Cardinal fans out there, this guy Ted Simmons played the majority of the year without signing his contract, and he's believed to be the first major leaguer ever to
Wouldn't
do
happen
that.
today, would it?
No. I found that fascinating as I'm reading up on it this morning. Imagine, I mean, what's our thing called? Term agreement? It's not a contract, but what's our, not a lease agreement?
It's just a memorandum.
An employee agreement, but I can't imagine not having something like in writing in front of me, like I'm going to get paid this allotment or this amount for participating or playing. I thought that was kind of interesting, especially for all you Cardinal fans.
The union would never allow it today.
No, couldn't.
That's the difference now. Is the players' union would never go for that.
I wouldn't think they'd have to do that. I was like, how does that work? How would that happen back in the day?
Well,
just come to an agreement?
That's back when a handshake meant something, you know.
It doesn't mean that necessarily today. Yeah. People were not, unfortunately, they're keeping up their word this morning. We're going to react to some more Arkansas football news coming up, more practice updates, observations. Had a really good interview with Tom Murphy this past segment, him talking about, not this past segment, this past hour in hour number 2. You can see that and hear that in the Bud Light Seltzer Morning Rush podcast. Also had a good conversation. We're going to talk some Bobby Bowden coming up. Alyssa Orange, who went to school at Florida State, had a relationship with Coach Bowden, and she shared some of her thoughts on the legacy that Coach not just left on that campus in Tallahassee, but across college football and a lot of different people.
Hey, Bruce Stanton going to stop in for a visit tomorrow in the 7 a.m. hour. He's with Pradco Fishing, and nothing says summer like and summer fun like fishing with a Thill Bobber with the family. America's favorite float by Thill are available in a variety of sizes and colors. These premium balsa wood floats are made by the thousands in the Fort Smith plant at Pradco. They're great at detecting the slightest bites by fish with working in tandem with crickets and red worms, and you can find them right now today at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureDent.com, and your favorite tackle shops everywhere. It's America's favorite floats by Thill from Pradco.
All right, coming up also in the program, we got best and worst of the weekend, some good stuff, some bad stuff to talk about. Tommy, we've got our fantasy football draft this weekend, gearing up for Fantasy Football Sunday, it making its return to these airwaves, as well as the Hit That Line podcast network. I'm really excited about that. We got a big golf outing. We got 12 of us that are playing in 3 foursomes, and it's called a scramble when you play the best ball. I always forget the terminology.
When you take the best shot?
The best shot each. Yeah. So if each of us...
A best ball means you play your own ball and take the best score. A scramble's when you take the best shot on each shot and everybody plays from that one spot.
Okay. I think I'm going to get a chance. I'm pretty excited about this. I haven't played this course in a minute. We're going to play the Creeks and Cave Springs on Saturday for that actual bout. But I think on Friday I'm getting to play with my buddy Wynn at Pinnacle. And I haven't played Pinnacle in quite some time. I still want to play the Blessings.
Have you ever played Pinnacle before?
I have.
Okay.
It's difficult. He's a scratch golfer. They actually, I think, just won a tournament this past weekend in Jonesboro. So I've got some things I got to learn or two, but I'm excited for a little golf. I've been playing a lot of golf lately.
You don't want to play the Blessings.
Don't?
No.
Okay.
No,
All right.
It'll make you cry.
All right, more of the Morning Rush coming up.
To you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Eagle's Nest is coming in hot.
Welcome to Toyota's National Sales Event.
Thanks, Jen. You know, I've been waiting to get a great deal on a new Toyota all year.
Great deals are kind of our thing. Right now, we've got exciting offers on our lineup of 2021s, like Camry, Corolla, RAV4, Tacoma.
Oh, wait, look at that Highlander. Jen, do you mind watching Chance?
Oh, okay.
Thanks, Jen. You're the best.
Listen, Chance, I run a tight ship around here, so I don't want any funny business. Aww, who's a...
When it came time for new gates and some fence repairs at my home, the Fence Man was my first call. The Fence Man does it all, from large commercial jobs to small residential repairs. Wood privacy fence, vinyl fence, commercial or residential chain link, even custom wrought iron fencing. 479-782-3936. 18 months, same as cash financing with approved credit is now available. If it involves fencing, the Fence Man does it. The Fence Man. He ain't afraid of no work. 479-782-3936.
Now that's a dandy white perch. Big old slab. C'est bon, Sacalin.
One beautiful crappie.
It's a paper mouse. Some serious crappie. Nice speck.
We got crappies.
They might go by different names, but all prefer the same thing. Bobby Garland, America's favorite white perch, slab, sockeye, papermouth, crappie, speck, crappie baits.
I call it dinner.
Tanya Tucker said when she died, she may not go to heaven because she didn't know if they let cowboys inside. Psalm 24 answers her question. Only those whose hands and hearts are pure, who do not worship idols and never tell lies. The only one qualified to meet that standard ascended after he died to pay the way for you to go inside. Believing in Jesus means he won't condemn us, and the only will be hotter than Texas. I'm Pastor Ethan Woodland. Think about it.
Click, call, or come by today and start driving better in a Rath road-ready vehicle and take advantage of discounts up to $5,300 below retail. But don't wait. A smoking deal like this can't last forever and absolutely ends August 31st. Only at Arkansas's favorite used car dealer, Rath Auto Resources and the Meineke Car Care Center, 4515 Towson Avenue, Fort Smith, or online at rathauto.com.
Requires bank approval. Negative equity may be refinanced.
Getting the kids to practice on time. Remembering if it's your day to bring snacks. Making it to the game with a clean jersey. Why are simple things sometimes so complicated? Thankfully, with Auto Owners, insurance doesn't have to be one of them. Auto Owners works with independent agents who answer when you call, so you can worry about more important things, like whether your kid is going to run toward first or third base. That's simple human sense.
Call Kohler and Green Insurance today in Fort Smith at 484-9888 and Kohler and Green Insurance in Van Buren at 474-9888.
Doe's Eat Place, serving award-winning steaks, has now added lobster tail and salmon to the menu. You can also enjoy delicious appetizers along with your choice of drinks from the largest selection of wines, beer, and liquor in the River Valley. Doe's Eat Place is open Tuesday through Thursday 5 till 9 and Friday and Saturday 5 till 10. Reservations are recommended. Call 784-9111. That's 784-9111. Doe's Eat Place, 422 North 3rd Street, Fort Smith.
Have you been looking for your next place to call home and just haven't found the right one? Then it's time to check out the properties at Trinity Multifamily. With a variety of apartments, duplexes, townhomes, and houses, there is surely one to fit your needs. Whether it's in the River Valley, Northwest Arkansas, or Central Arkansas that you are looking at, they have you covered. Give them a call today. Trinity Multifamily, 479-452-1817. That's 479-452-1817. Or online at trinitymultifamily.com to search rental properties near you.
Did you know that you can get your car serviced or repaired without ever leaving your house?
All you have to do is call Jody's Auto Service Center at 479-649-3399. Jody's will pick up your vehicle, service or repair it for you, and return it fully disinfected to your driveway. Pickup and delivery is free for jobs $75 or more. Jobs less than $75 can be picked up and returned for a $10 fee. Let Jody's Auto Service Centers handle all your service and vehicle repair needs. Call 479-649-3399. Jody's Auto Service Center.
Farm Credit has been a trusted friend for over 100 years. They are ag financing experts. So whether you're a longtime farmer, new to farming, or buying your dream home or land in the country, their experienced staff has a plan to fit your goals, needs, and your bottom line. From farms to land, livestock, equipment, and more, Farm Credit finances it all. Learn more at myaglender.com. Farm Credit is an equal opportunity lender.
Hi, I'm Kelly Smith, owner of Dixie Digital Imaging. Would printing from your phone or tablet make your life easier? Are you emailing files to yourself so that you can print them from your desktop or laptop? The Xerox VersaLink and AltaLink lines of network printers and multifunction printers will natively print using your phone's built-in capabilities. Apple AirPrint and Google Cloud Printing just work. To order yours today, give us a call at 783-6600 or visit dixiedigital.com. Dixie Digital Imaging, bringing document innovations to the River Valley.
ESPN 95.3.
Good morning to the Morning Rush, everybody.
He's going for it all. He's got a receiver in the end zone. It is caught by Arkansas. London Crawford comes down with the ball.
Follow the show on Twitter at HitThatLineAR and on Facebook and Instagram at HitThatLine.
Got a cool text from JT in Hot Springs earlier in the program talking about Bobby Bowden. I want to discuss that. And the other lasting part of his legacy is, unfortunately, he passed away at the age of 91 this past week. And we'll get to that coming up.
Hey, a couple more chances for you to qualify for the football trip of a lifetime and be a automatic finalist in the Thick Burger Eating Contest tomorrow and Thursday. Let's see, it's Grand Avenue location tomorrow and Thursday at the Phoenix Avenue location in Fort Smith. We've got 13 qualifiers at this point, so a couple of more spots left. So if you want to be in the contest on the 21st, you need to get to these two spots on Tuesday and Thursday of this week at Hardee's. Come by and have lunch with Ty on those 2 days. Try the new BLT Ranch chicken sandwich or BLT Ranch Angus Thick Burger and have lunch. I had the you can try that new waffle chicken sandwich.
How was it?
Perfect. It's not very big, small, won't fill you up. Love it. You can get it for breakfast or lunch, too, by the way. So try that at Hardee's. But last few chances to qualify. We are a week from Saturday from giving this trip away. So get to Hardee's tomorrow or Thursday and stop by for breakfast this morning.
And there's 13 of them that have qualified, so you've only got 2 more slots open. So if you got to do it, you got to do it quick. JT in Hot Springs texted in earlier, and he said he saw posts from Miami players, coaches, and fans that talked about Coach Bowden's class and how much respect they have for him. I think it says something about an individual, particularly in sports, when their competitor, their rival, or someone that they consistently compete against have good things to say when they retire, when they pass. I always thought it was the coolest thing ever when Magic Johnson showed up to Larry Bird's retirement ceremony, and underneath his Lakers pullover, he's got a Boston Celtics shirt on. And they obviously played in that Team USA, it was 79 or 80, whatever it was. Then they had the rivalry between the Celtics and Lakers. But they had such a respect and admiration and now share a friendship many years following each of their retirement. I just thought that was cool. And to see Miami players, coaches, fans, and all these others, you've got Florida doing the same thing, that there's just such there's such a respect level for Coach Bowden on and off the field.
Well, last night, I mean, just to add to your examples, Tom Brady was at Peyton Manning's Hall of Fame enshrinement last night. So, I mean, they were certainly AFC rivals for many years between the Colts and the Patriots. So, absolutely, you see it's a respect level. And most of the time, Jack and Arnie were great friends. A lot of people wanted to turn them into enemies, and they were great friends. I mean, that's another
Coach
one.
Royal and Broyles. That's probably the biggest example that we have in this state. It's like when you think about because you don't want friendliness, right? You don't want I think one of the things people take issue with in today's NBA or NFL or Major League is there's too much friendship and fandom between one another. Like too
much time on the yacht together in the NBA.
Yeah, and you're just like, you guys are rivals, you're competitors. Like I get it, but like when you guys face off, it's too many smiles. Like there should be some gnashing of the teeth and going at it a little bit. It's not like you didn't have that between Coach Bowden and Coach Spurrier, but like when it's all said and done, retirement, passing, unfortunately, which we all have to go through in life, it's cool to see them reflect. It's like, man, I hated this guy when I played him, but man, he's a great coach, a great man, whatever it may be. I know that Spurrier's famous for saying free shoes university. That was his favorite phrase to say about Florida State and just the competitive level. He also mentioned that, like, yeah, we beat them a few times, but they definitely beat us more because Florida State had some of the better teams during that time. And you think about how close they came. I think JT in Hot Springs also brought up the wide rights. I think there was 3 of them, maybe a wide left. Think about the Miami games and all I mean, Coach Bowden's a player or two away from maybe another national championship or 2 on his resume.
Yeah, and I'm trying to line it up. Was there a brief? I mean, obviously Bowden was there at the same time. Jimmy Johnson was at Miami. I'm trying to think. Was Spurrier trying to line? I guess there was a time frame.
All 3 of them?
Well, all 3, because when Spurrier got to Florida, it had been a very brief time before Jimmy went to Dallas in the late 80s, but it wouldn't have been long.
Because I think there was a year that Miami waxed both Florida State and and the Gators.
I'm not sure all 3 of them. They're just trying to think of Jimmy, Spurrier, and because Jimmy would have left in the late 80s to go to the Cowboys. I'm not sure, but Florida was not Florida then, so I'm not sure that would have ever really lined up now that you just kind of think about it. But you think about over the years, Coach Bowden and some of the Titans he played. I mean, with Spurrier, with Jimmy Johnson at Miami and Florida. But there were some great ones that were adversaries for him just right there in the Sunshine State. Hey, we're brought to you by Farm Credit. You know, their local branch staff, the ones that help you throughout the entire loan process, that make and close your loan, are the same people servicing your loan for the life of the loan. And that's really important. All their loans with Farm Credit that stay in their portfolio right here in Arkansas. They never sell their loans to a third party, so you're never going to get a letter in the mail that says, hey, start making your payment or your draft is going to start coming out of your account going to a third party. You never have to worry about that. Farm Credit employees are active in their local communities, and the chances are you probably know somebody that works at Farm Credit that's on a school or church or community board or committee with you already. So when you walk in the door at Farm Credit, their employees likely already know you by name, and that's a pretty unique trait in today's business world. So rest assured, when you do a loan with Farm Credit, it's going to stay with Farm Credit. So stop in one of their local offices. They're all over our listing areas. That's Farm Credit of Western Arkansas.
We're going to get into some more fun coming up here on the Morning Rush from Arkansas football observations again from this past weekend as we'll continue to hear about practice. I know Clay will give us a bunch of insight tomorrow when he joins the program at 7 o'clock. Really excited about that. Also, best and worst of the weekend coming up here on the Morning Rush. Had some good stuff happen this past week. Had some bad stuff happen this past week as well. And again, you can always find all our audio, hitthatline.com, our YouTube channel as well, to hear from Coach Pittman, the players, and other coaches on that staff. One more segment on a Hot Take Monday coming up next.
Hot Take Monday is brought to you by Wheels RV, Highway 412 in Springdale, and online at wheelsrv.net.
Hey, it was BYOG, bring your own guts.
Wheels RV in Springdale wants you to seek out all the Natural State has to offer this year. Explore Arkansas in a new RV from Grand Design, Forest River, KZ, Heartland, Keystone, or Alliance. All the best brands at the best prices. Enjoy peace of mind with our lifetime warranty on every new RV and a mobile service shuttle to keep you camping. So come on in and discover why Wheels RV was voted the best RV dealership in Northwest Arkansas. 5 miles west of I-49, exit 72. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
This is Brett Good, former Razorback and Super Bowl champion with the Green Bay Packers. Everyone loves to be on a winning team. That is why I have joined Henderson Phillips Employer Solutions. Henderson Phillips can help you tackle all your employee benefit, health insurance, and staffing management solutions. Plus, I can help you with any commercial or personal insurance need. Come join my team at Henderson Phillips. Call me, Brett Good, at 479-651-2292. That's 651-2292.
At any of the Clay Maxey companies, it's just an easy, customer-centered experience. We wanted to make it a one-stop shop, so we added Kawasaki and Can-Am and Hustler and Worldline. It's really been a nice add for us. We provide full service. We're doing pickup and delivery. We were able to add the Vexus line, which is a premier bass boat line. We want to make it easy. We want you to visit us at any of the Clay Maxey companies. Clay Maxey Ford and Harrison, Berryville, Motorsports, Marine, or Clay Maxey NWA.
Fridays is bringing a world of flavor to your table. Come by your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers Avenue in Fort Smith and explore new appetizers and cocktails inspired by Fridays around the world. New appetizers like Wing Around the World and the Potato Skin Passport. Check out our new ultimate cocktails like the Double Berry Mojito. Stop in or order online for convenient curbside pickup at Fridays.com. Come taste a world of flavor at your locally owned TGI Fridays at I-540 and Rogers in Fort Smith.
This time of year is hectic, and we know you have things to do and places to be. Southern Tire Mart can help you get there and save you money on America's most trusted brands like Michelin and BF Goodrich. Take advantage of our $29.95 oil change, which includes a 27-point vehicle inspection. Come see us at Southern Tire Mart just off I-540 at exit 14 in Fort Smith today for quality Michelin and BF Goodrich tires and the best-in-class service. Get where you need to be with Michelin, BF Goodrich, and Southern Tire Mart.
Needing your roof repaired? Ramos Roofing is a local company that has over 25 years of experience, specializing in your residential or commercial roofing needs in the Oklahoma area. Ramos Roofing, a company you can trust, offering discounts to senior citizens, law enforcement, or healthcare workers, and assists in your insurance claims. Ramos Roofing, standing behind their work so you can stand under it. Call 479-420-9903. That's 420-9903. Ramos Roofing, working with you to build a better home.
Tired of constant computer issues at work? And who knows what the real problem is? Is it the router? No, it's the hardware. Wait, they said it was the software. Call Hashtag Managed IT Services. Their multifaceted approach to IT support guarantees that everything is working at optimum performance. And Hashtag prevents the small problems from becoming big issues. Hashtag Managed IT Services in Van Buren. 479-802-4978. That's 479-802-4978. Hashtag Technology without the headache.
When you've escaped the screens and the sun bathes everything in a golden glow, and your friend hands you a cold organic beer that tastes as perfect as nature itself, that's pure gold. Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, the first national USDA certified organic beer. Organic by nature. Enjoy responsibly. 2020 Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Pure Gold, St. Louis, Missouri.
River City Bistro is Fort Smith's favorite place for lunch, dinner, and brunch. Open 7 days a week, both on the patio and cozy dining room. River City Bistro, locally owned and open weekdays 11 till 8, Saturdays 10 till 8, and Sundays 10 till 3. Want River City Bistro curbside to go? Just search on Facebook or Instagram for River City Bistro or go to rcbistro.com. River City Bistro, 7320 Rogers Avenue in the Stonewood Village Shopping Center.
This is Bruce Stanton, Vice President and General Manager of Pradco Fishing in Fort Smith. Our #1 volume lure out of our 20 fishing brands is the Bobby Garland Baby Shad. We make them by the millions in our facility in Fort Smith, and the Baby Shad is without a doubt the #1 soft plastic crappie lure in the U.S. Fish it on a light jig head or underneath a float, and you'll find it's as productive as live bait. Available at Walmart, Bass Pro Shops, Academy, LureNet.com, and tackle stores all over the place. The Bobby Garland Baby Shad.
Harry Robinson Buick GMC wants to buy your vehicle, and they'll pay top dollar today. Pre-owned car values are at an all-time high, and your car is worth more today than it ever will be again. If you are driving a 2013 model or newer with 120,000 miles or less, bring it to Harry Robinson Buick GMC, and they will pay you more for your trade. Even if you don't want to buy a new car, they will still buy yours. Harry Robinson Buick GMC, exit 11 off of I-540 in Fort Smith.
ESPN 95.3. The Morning Rush with Ty Richardson and Tommy Crabb.
Back to October of 2012. They're going to run and get that boot. They're going across the field. That's theirs now.
This city's going to come unglued.
Streaming live at hitthatline.com.
Last segment here on the Morning Rush on a Hot Take Monday. Going to wrap it up here in just a sec. Also going to get into the best and worst of the weekend coming up.
Hot Take Monday always brought to you by Wills RV, 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. The best brands, the best prices, the best service from Chris and Lee J every time. Lifetime warranties on every new RV they sell. Factory trained and certified technicians. You'll get it all at Wheels RV. 5 miles west of exit 72 off I-49 in Springdale. Seek, explore, discover with Wheels RV.
All right, real quick, Drew, I'll start with you. Go around the room.
What's up?
Biggest takeaway from players and coaches that you listened to over the weekend, Friday, Saturday, Thursday. What was your biggest takeaway from player or coach?
My biggest takeaway from practice and everything has been what Tommy has been talking about, of finding that depth, of finding the guys that you can rely on to take over for the ones in late time in the fourth quarter, so you're not gassed, so that you can continue to play a high level quality of football throughout the game and be able to close games. And that's what I think they're ultimately doing right now.
Hog coaches, I would say they don't know much yet, and they'll admit that. They're glad to see everybody out there. Everybody looks good to this point, but they're very anxious to get pads on at this point, so to really figure out what they got. So
I heard Coach Pittman on Friday talk about, when he was asked about the new coaches, what they bring to the table, he felt like he didn't want to discount or discredit the previous coaches that were here that may have left or were let go for a variety of reasons. So I think my biggest takeaway is, what are you going to get in these new guys? What are you going to get in? Is it Scherer or Sure?
Michael Scherer.
Michael Scherer.
Mm-hmm.
Kenny Guyton. Y'all gonna have to help me out. Cody Kennedy.
Right.
Who are we missing?
You got Dow Loggins at tight end.
Loggins tight end.
So you have to say Loggins, Cody Kennedy moved over to tight end, Kenny Guyton at wide receiver, Michael Scherer at linebackers,
Jamal Ashley at defensive line.
That's 5.
That's 5. That's the total. So what are you going to get in those new guys? That's my biggest takeaway, is those individuals and how they're going to help out recruiting and football, because I'm curious what Coach Pittman thinks about that. We also got some reactions from Ken. If you haven't heard Steve Atwater's speech, it's fantastic. Go listen to it. Here's what the Smiling Assassin had to say, and just one of the excerpts from his Hall of Fame speech. If I can find it. There it is.
I stand here because of so many incredible people who have stood beside me. To David Baker, to your team, thank you for a dream come true. I'm humbled and honored to wear this gold jacket. Congratulations to the class of 2020. It was a little bit of a wait. Hey, we're up in this thing now, right? We're here. I also want to congratulate the class of 2021. And to everyone here on stage today, it is an honor and a pleasure to be here with each and every one of you. What a squad. Come on, man. What a squad we got up here.
He only overlapped with Quinn Grovey 1 or 2 years.
I wouldn't be certain on that. I'm going to have to look it up.
I think he started playing the NFL in 1989. Quinn was the starting quarterback starting in 88. So maybe it just was 1 year. I was thinking it was more than that, but I think it was just 1 year. Can you think about that. You got an all-conference type quarterback and one of the best quarterbacks that's ever played in an Arkansas uniform, and then Pro Football Hall of Fame on the other side. That's what you hope is with Traylon Burks and Jalen Catalon. I know it's quarterback and safety and a little different dynamic there, but I mean, I know that we asked Steve when he came on this program in the summer about Jalen Catalon and what he brings to the table, and I'm just so excited about those two guys this year. And you see them being named for award watch lists. You got a chance to. They're sitting next to each other at the table on Thursday. You're sitting. Man, this might be the last year to get a chance to watch these two guys in the Razorback uniform. Now they're going to be playing at the NFL, no question about that. But soak it in, take it in, because Burks is for sure gone. And I know that I think it was Clay that told me he's not 100% if Jalen's going to be gone or not after this year, but it's a very good chance. I'd say upper 80, upper 90s that both these guys are gone after this season.
Yeah, I mean, particularly with Burks, I think, avoiding injury, I'll be interested to see what his draft projections are. When you start having those discussions mid to late November and see what people are projecting him at. His metrics, his hands, his speed, his wingspan, all of those things just make him so valuable. I don't see how we could ever expect him to come back. He's kind of like Moses Moody. I mean, he's a guy that while you would love to have him for another year, we all understand the right decision is to go. And you can't begrudge him at all because the correct decision is to go play at the next level.
Moses also
and everybody understands it.
Mm-hmm. He had a superb first summer league game for Golden State. I think he had 17 points, hit 2 3-pointers, and looked pretty. Was shooting, I think, above 50%. So I'm excited to see where he continues to blossom in summer league for Golden State. We're talking about Camden a little bit with Steve Atwater, Jimmy Johnson, Cliff Harris, all the other guys that were inducted this weekend. We have discussed, Tommy, we think we're going to have our fantasy football draft there in Camden next year. I don't know where, a hotel, but I think that would be pretty. I think that would be pretty cool, right? We've done it in Vegas, we've done it in Fayetteville. We're thinking about doing it in Durant, Oklahoma, at the new Choctaw. That's apparently just huge now. They put pools and all this other stuff, but Canton feels like home almost for NFL fantasy football.
I can't think of a better place to do it. Can you?
Pro football, all right, close to the Pro Football Hall of Fame. I don't know if we have enough clout to ask if we can do it inside there, but we can at least do it close and maybe take a visit.
I would certainly want to look at the dates for next year's Hall of Fame enshrinement and make sure you're doing it well after that. Several days after. I imagine hotels and Airbnbs and all that stuff would be hard to come by during the festivities. So
at the Hall of Fame this weekend, it took Tommy and listen. I had to listen to it a few times too. Listen to this and tell me if you can make out the faint background noise in this clip.
Listen.
One more time. The word you hear is "Let's go smoke joints in the parking lot."
Are we sure?
Oh. Pretty sure. Pretty sure. So I don't know what former player, what former coach, or what attendee said that. Pretty sure that's the hot mic that was picked up with a Hall of Fame. So, and I was gone this past week, but luckily. So what happened in my absence? Anything?
5
notable?
great shows. That's
5 great shows.
Pretty much. We all enjoyed ourselves.
Yeah. Clay really enjoyed himself.
I bet Clay.
We all got along better.
Clay said he could do 5 days of that. So
I bet Clay had a back time. And y'all decided college game day, I will take order the festivities of what we need to do with the assignments and stuff if it needs. But you're under the impression it's not coming to Fayetteville, so you don't have to worry about it. I will worry about it when it ends up coming to Fayetteville, Arkansas for the Texas game.
You're going to make the assignments.
Yeah, I'll figure it out because I would hate to put something else on your plate because it's so full to this point.
Drew, what did I predict? What was my prediction? If we had to pull the tape, we should have pulled that clip. Exactly what I said. Ty would come in here Monday and say
that Ty would try to figure out a way that he could not only be at College Game Day, but camp out there at whatever site they pick in Fayetteville for an entire week.
And claim it was work.
Yes.
It's going to be
and expense everything.
And expense everything.
Yeah, well, we're going to have to do that. All right, speaking
down
of work.
to the propane bottles for his heater.
Yeah, speaking of work, we will have to get into the best and worst. I haven't done this in a while, so we'll get back into it. Best and worst of the weekend.
It was the best of times. It was the worst of times.
We the best.
This is the worst.
It's time for the best and worst of the weekend.
So I'll say my best, really quick, really short. Staying off social media was good this past week because I'm on it for work 24/7 on Twitter. That's my main problem is I'm scrolling through Twitter. Hey, what's going on with Arkansas football? What's going on in college football? Different news. And it's just good to be off a good period of time this past week. Now, the worst, if you will. So this bachelor party in Low Gap, Arkansas, which I'd never heard of, and I think it was we're on the Buffalo River. We passed through Jasper, but I was in the middle of Timbuktu this weekend. Newton County. It was great. A lot of scenery, great cabin we stayed in. A lot of beers were consumed, and the beers played into this next story. So Friday night, we're playing cornhole. That's a huge, huge game of ours. We love to play it. And I had the bright idea. So I'm on the balcony of this cabin to get on my buddy's truck, who, if you know anything about my friend, he takes his truck very seriously. Doesn't like scratch, doesn't like people eating it. It is crazy how much he loves it. And at this point in time, I'm a little inebriated. I get down off the high horse, And I decide, you know what? Here, toss me the flashlight, because it's 10 o'clock at night, and they're trying to play cornhole in the dark with the house lights on. So I get the flashlight, and I'm shining them back and forth between the cornhole, right? Well, sure enough, the sunroof, I hear a
Oh.
and I'm like, oh no.
Oh no.
So I look down, and there it is. Nice little fat crack in the windshield. And I'm thinking to myself, I can't.
Not the windshield.
No, the sunroof. Excuse me. The sunroof. I want to make sure.
You're going to wish when you get the price it was the windshield.
Oh, is it worse? That's not good. So I was like, I was kind of at a point. It's like, do I tell him this? I woke up the next morning. I was like, surely that was a bad dream, right? Surely I did not actually not shatter, but it's essentially shattered my buddy's sunroof. We get in his truck the next morning, and we're on the way to the Buffalo to Canoe, and he rolls it down. Sure enough, there's just this giant. When you throw a pebble in the pond and it makes those circles. What's that called?
Ripple.
Yeah.
There's just this giant ripple in his sunroof, and he looks up and is like, "How did that happen?" And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, so this wasn't a dream. I actually did this last night. And so I'm trying to figure out, I was like, how did I do this? I was like, because I was still in like a weird state. And I was like, I sat on this, and I was like, man, I think I did that, and I'm going to have to pay for it. Luckily enough, he wasn't as angry as I anticipated. But it's still going to cost me probably $1,000.
Oh, yeah, at least, yeah.
At least.
Could have got away with it if he didn't know about it.
Is it a motorized one?
Yeah. So we can expense that, right? Somehow, some way. Hopefully, our buddy Bobby Gregory at Mr. Autoglass can help me out with that.
So you're already angling here out of
somehow. I got to figure that out, because my brother busted mine. Luckily, it was just a scratch, but I shattered this sucker.
My buddy Scott was just driving down the road minding his own business, and like, just, you know how you just take a rock chip in your windshield?
Yeah.
It hit on the top and landed and just shattered it. Glass went everywhere.
Jeez.
I mean, you talk about bad luck. Running 70 down the highway, that's where the rock hits?
Well, this wasn't bad luck. This was just me being an ignorant fool. And me trying to be a good person and give light to the cornhole competition ended up costing me probably $1,000. So there's that. Everyone have a great day. We'll do it tomorrow on the Morning Rush.
Welcome to Toyota's National Sales Event.
Thanks, Jen. You know, I've been waiting to get a great deal on a new Toyota all year.
Great deals are kind of our thing. Right now, we've got exciting offers on our lineup of 2021s, like